everybody. Welcome to the show. We'll be starting here in just a little bit. Get yourself something to drink as Ethauntia Episode 3 kicks into high gear. You may notice that the episode titles have been getting wild, and that's so that SEO likes what I put online, because apparently you have to pay your mistress. I don't know. I guess that's how it works. You got to give her compliments, and the compliments for YouTube is SEO. So you'll notice some fun stuff that's in there. But tonight's episode is actually called Needle Night. I'm sure that makes Allie very excited to hear. Someone who doesn't like anything near her eyes. You can't see her face, but it was worth the comment alone, everybody. We will be starting here in about 7 minutes. Get yourself something to drink. You'll notice that we have the subscribe thing on the stream right now. That is for our lovely Streamloot cards. This helps all of our people survive during the game, giving them a chance to, not die immediately. If you don't know how they work, there's a site. You pick up cards and you play them live. A lot of awesome people put in community packs, so there may even be a few of those left where you can pick some up and have them for the stream. If not, check them out. If you got questions, let us know.
You. Why are you standing there in plain sight? You need to hide. This place is not safe for the likes of you, especially after dark. Ah, I can see by your confused expression that you do not fully comprehend the danger you are in. Perhaps you thought to enter here and find some amusement. But you picked a poor night to come visiting, my friends. It was a night just like this that it happened. The man who lived here went stark raving mad. They say he dispatched his entire family. Sometimes you can still hear the faint echo of their screams in the dark. His spirit now haunts this place, looking for others to dispatch. He's out there, watching you from the shadows, creeping ever closer. Come here. You can hide with me. I'll keep you safe and sound.
It's that time, everybody. We are back for episode 3 of Ethauntia Superstitions Season 2. And the last couple times I have been starting us in the thick of it, and there is some funny comments that have already been made about tonight's show in the chat, and I feel like I need to honor some of these because they're so good. Unfortunately, the first one that Rogue put up, I can't put because it wasn't in chat, but they said, everyone is talking about where bears, but no one is talking about why bear or even how bear. And my response to that is very, very simple. Nobody has taken language classes in Ethauntia, so no one's asking those really hard-hitting questions. So, wow. You guys can't hear Drew in the background, but he's already bringing Drew. So we'll be starting this one off here very shortly. Allie's doing a little bit of some audio editing and fixing on her side. She got a new EQ, or well, readjusted her EQ. Picture posted that GIF from Workaholics. What is this, Todd? Workaholics is the guy in the bear jacket? Yeah, saying for sure. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So if those don't remember, a real quick how we left off. Our party had come down into a lumber mill on request of all the people who were originally working here. The workers made their way up the plateau to the outpost where all of our players are from, our cast is from, and said they were told to leave by the foreman before they even saw anything. And they don't know how he knew, but as soon as they started climbing, they saw the place get overran with mist, the sound of bears on site tearing things apart, and a few of the people who didn't get out in time, didn't make it. By the time our player characters got down there, the hunters got in, they found more than just people torn apart by bears, or bears that were changed, kind of like the very first season of Ethauntia when they dealt with bears. And they ended up encountering their first things affected by the dark tides, which are ether ghouls. We did a whole show on making them. You can go back and watch that, but they've never fought ether ghouls before with this group. They've only fought it in our first campaign, and they sure hadn't fought them in Dragonbane. Surprisingly, group did well. Burke almost ate it, but survived through barely. And that brings us to today, where they have made their way all the way down across the gap, and they are at the foreman's office / home. They found Sturge in the area, an odd circle of oak trees, and Georgia believes that this is maybe one of the druids of the Circle of Oak, at least from their knowledge and history. And sure enough, after 2 Sturge attacked, they found a broken area in the back that was torn apart. They found bleaked blood all over the ground. The Sturge were taking it to make their own nest. And when they went into the office through the back window, after getting attacked, a naked dwarf walked out and fur started growing, and he shifted into a gigantic werebear with an amulet kind of mangled in the fur and into his skin. And we left it there. But we also left 2 people outside getting attacked by Sturge. And I feel like I should probably start there. That's where I feel like we should go. So a little help of bats, me, we're gonna bring on the 2 people who are outside. Hey, Allie, you got your mic fixed?
I hope so.
So outside of this lovely little window, there is a kind of like a chicken wire fence that's been cut that is kind of grown into a perimeter of oak trees, a la the oak tree over here. And Burke just got stabbed by a Sturge. I think it's still on him. I don't think it is left. And there is one in front of you that also dove and tried to get you, but no luck. I didn't get a hold of you. With that, I would like to start with the 2 people outside before we even pull initiative cards. And with Georgia, the one thing I want to know is, are you pretty perceptive? Do you have a pretty good awareness?
Oh gosh, I sure used to. But you know what? I don't know if that's the case anymore. Let's find out, alchemy table. Ooh, yeah, because my perception was really good before, but now...
Yeah, because it was initiative before and everybody had good perception.
My awareness is a little better than mid.
Okay. Okay. Are you above a 10?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Okay. Cool. Good to know. Burke, how is your awareness?
Pretty good.
Above a 10 or
Actually
below?
trained in it. Above.
What do you got? What's your total? Ooh.
Well,
Well, on the alchemy table, I am going to privately message you because you actually noticed I've rolled really well for you. In the distance, you notice something back beyond and behind these sturge and out where you kind of saw their nest in the distance. Past those sturge, which are probably about 20 meters from where you are, you see this in the distance. And you can do with this as you want before we draw cards. There you go. It's an alchemy on the alchemy table for you.
I see. That's something else.
Well, would you say anything before we draw our initiative cards for the day to start the show?
We have to make this quick. The tides are coming in.
Allie, Georgia doesn't see anything. That's correct.
Okay.
That is the correct.
Yeah.
That is the correct
Yeah.
answer. Fuck is the correct answer. With that, let's get the party here. Oh, who
Patch
do we
ready,
missing?
just in
Oh, let me
case.
get Drew back. Come on, Drew. There he is. There's the head shake. So we only have 2 initiative cards. We have a 5 and a 3. I'm going to take us over to our lovely thing. I'm going to turn initiative on, and I'm just going to randomly roll once.
Hey, initiative, how you doing?
And I'm assuming you don't want to use your 3 and 5 unless Burke feels he wants to go before the werebear, because there is a big shadowy mass at the window behind you and drool coming out of the fur of this large beast. The window is just covered in black. You don't even see your 2 friends anymore. But the order of initiative right now is Georgia, then it goes to Regder, then it goes to the werebear, Burke, Maria, and the Sturge. I'm not going to tell you the Tides initiative.
I'd go to the defender.
There is a serving hands just played a 1. We already have somebody on the 1 spot and the 2 spot, but if someone wants the 3, I will move the bear back one and put you in front. Does anybody want the 3? Does Burke or Maria want a 3?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Burke, do you want to go before the werebear?
He's kind of blocking the whole window.
Yeah, there's other
I wanna see
windows
what plays
along
out
the side of the
inside.
building.
No, I'll wait.
Okay.
I'd rather stay back.
Georgia, we're starting with you. Sturge is flying around you. It's about yay size around, about the size of like a softball with wings and legs. They are not pretty. The long stinger or nose off of them is coated in mud and blood.
It's the Phantasm Ball.
Well, there's an image of them
feels
on
right.
screen. They're not quite the Phantasm Ball, and they're a bright red to rust red.
I'm going to go ahead and burn some willpower to cast Tarfire and throw it at this boy.
Okay. Of course you are. Of course you are. Does Tarfire have a roll for me? Because you got to roll to cast it first.
Yep.
Let's get that roll to cast, because this could be one of those failing moments. Are you going to make that Tarfire?
I'm going to patch it. Oh,
we're going to start with a patch out of the gate. Okay, all right. I like that.
Yes, we sure are. We sure are.
All right, Georgia's patch.
Fuck my life. Yeah, that's a bad time. I go to uncork the Tarfire and I fumble and yeah.
Did you roll a 1?
Breaks.
No, she rolled a 20.
No.
Oh, 20? Sorry,
No,
that's what I
I
meant.
rolled a
20.
19,
Oh, 19.
a 19, and then a 16. And,
All right, so it's not a critical
my-
failure. It's not a
yeah.
critical failure. You don't have to worry too much.
My animism is A 14.
Why is
Jesus, where
why
are they,
is
Florida?
hold on here?
Off by 2.
Let me get your there we go. Get that to come back. Off by 2. So you go to cast it, this thing dives in and it's flying around just enough to knock it out of your hand. Which unfortunately gives up your turn. And that takes us to your brother. Inside the house, a werebear has just formed out of what you believe to be the foreman. It is moving towards the window. Drool, and its eyes have like a glowing red along the bottom. His face is covered in blood.
That
And
tracks.
it's a mix of red and black.
Right.
What do you want to do? I will let you know. The hunters know what a lycanthrope is. That's not news.
Yeah. Yeah.
Werebears have not been seen out here too often, but you know they exist. You know that silver is usually the remedy for lichens in general to harm them, or a good magical weapon. No rolls required for that. That's just your hunters. I expect you to know that.
Did I see the amulet? Because I remember, like,
You
you
could
said something about the amulet, and it like the
Grows into
the
his skin
grew
and fur.
around it.
Yeah, it was like hanging around the dwarf's neck. But as he started getting larger, the skin kind of grows and like grabs onto it, and the fur grows around it and through, like all the the metal piece that would be holding the amulet, the housing, setting. Sorry, setting.
Does he know? Well, actually,
I don't know. What are you asking me? And I'll let you know if you have to roll.
Would he know that there are different types of lycanthropy? Like there's like you're born with it, you're bitten, or it can be an item.
That would require a roll because we've actually never discussed it in Ethauntia.
Is that myths and legends?
It would be myth
What
and
would that
legends,
be?
yeah.
Okay.
Myth and legend, beast wouldn't count because this thing is obviously more than a beast. But beast does cover a lot of monsters, though. I will say that.
Oh, you dick!
What's wrong?
My myths and legends is a 5, and I rolled a 6. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, Drew. Our lovely audience has put 5 dark secrets on the table. If you're willing to use a dark secret, I'll just move a tracker up 1 and I'll give you an answer.
The fuck is a dark secret?
Dark secret's a card. You learn a dark secret. You learn something that, is hidden from the public and people don't know. But I move a tracker up 1.
Oh, that one. Yeah, let's use it.
All right. Let's take a dark secret here. I've just been taking them in the order that they come. We're going to use Star Drew's Dark Secret. And I will move up this one. I will tell you the clock that I have left only has 3 pies left.
Oh,
3
good.
slices. Remember, they can be good or bad.
Todd.
They're not always bad. So here's your dark secret.
Patch.
Yes, there is numerous types of shapeshifters out there. There are shapeshifters and lichens. Specifically, a true lichen usually has an heirloom or an item tied to their bloodline or curse that allows them to control when they shift versus it having to be a full moon. The dark part of this is while they're in their were form, they don't have 100% control.
Got it.
It just lets them shift when they want. Broad daylight.
But they have more control than if it were a full moon.
Only that they can decide to do it in the middle of the day if they want, but they still risk the ramifications of just going nuts.
Great.
Which we'll get to the audience. Audience, can you roll me a d6 since we're talking about that? And I'll take that for the first action of the bear when we get to it. So what would you like to do? That was your check. Would you like to move? You want to get away from the bear into like the hallway or the room? Because he's kind of squished you guys in this tiny room.
Yeah, I'm going to nod to Maria. And,
I'll move him so you can see.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of nod to Maria and be like, and fall back through the doorway so that I can train a gun on the window.
So when you're squeezing by him, one of his paws just kind of shoves you towards the doorway.
Perfect.
Not like, I mean, it's aggressive because it's a fucking
Bear.
2-ton bear shoving you.
Yeah.
And you're going to stay there? Where would you like to go out in the hall? Are you going anywhere else? Are you going to stay where you can still sort of see?
No, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to say to him as I'm picking up a rifle, I'm like, the dwarf and the metal fire wielding gentleman out front are with us
right now.
because he said, like, he came up behind us and he went, move, and he pulled out a salt shotgun and shot the Sturge right before this. So I'm guessing he's an ally. At least he's trying to be right now. So I'm not going to try and do anything against him, but I am going to be able to. I'm setting up in the doorway so I can train through the window to shoot once he gets out of the way.
If he gets out of the way. All right. Serving hands rolled a 4, so we'll get back to that in a minute. With that, that was your turn. That takes us to the bear on a 4. On a 4, surprise attacked. The werebear gathers its supernatural strength, hurls itself at an enemy within 10 meters, who has the lowest HP, and rakes its claws across their body. So, Burke, what's your health at?
9.
Said enemy though, right?
I didn't
It's a
say.
werebear.
I never said he was your friend. Not once.
I mean, he just pelted me with rock salt. So
He did shoot her in the rock salt. What's the health of Georgia? 5. I will like you to know that the rock shotgun put the Sturge in front of you to 3. So I will jump for the Sturge. And we're lucky.
Sweet baby Jesus.
The other Sturge has 6 hit points. So
Whew.
as it jumps through, it shatters the entire window frame. There is no way this window is being shut unless you have some magic to repair it or something along those lines. He bursts through the side of this log building and grabs a hold of this thing with its claws and just tears it into pieces. And he takes one of the trees, like top branches next to him, down with it. My total damage I did was 20 points. With that, it takes me from there, and it goes to Burke. Burke, what would you like to do? The beast has jumped through the window. He's like kind of half standing over top of Georgia and just ripping this thing apart and eating it.
well, I'm going to. I guess I'm going to have to reactivate my armor that I chucked for movement purposes earlier.
Are you staying out here to do it, or are you going to go through the large hole in the wall?
I want to stay until Georgia's inside.
Okay.
She's
Would you...
more
Oof.
more prone to getting smacked by this guy than I
You
am.
could grab her instead of casting your spell and drag her in with your action.
Oh, all right.
You can use your action to move other people as long as they're willing. I'm fine with that. Up to you. What's more important?
All right.
Armor or helping?
Helping.
Okay.
Works all about helping.
Okay.
Puts other people first.
Okay.
I hope this is okay, and I'll like grab her and put her through the hole.
just shove her into the gaping maw of the hallway or the room. All right. So when you shove her through, I'll move you back. You guys can move your movement. Are you taking her through this room into the next, like into the hallway? Like you getting distance? Or are you just going into the room?
Get out of.
If they're
Yeah.
coming through, Regdra will be like, go around me this way.
Which
Get
way?
the fuck out of my fire rate.
So I'll put you there. You two can, Burke, wherever you go, anywhere on that path, Georgia can kind of be dropped off. So where would you want to go to? Move 2 squares so far to get to there. Or 3 squares. 3 squares so far. 1, 2,
Guess I'll
3.
move over into the living room area.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. So Georgia, anywhere between there, you can kind of be. I put you here, but I'll leave you here. Put yourself anywhere in between where Burke was and where he is now.
I think I would probably go like right in between them.
Like against the wall in the other room, right?
Yeah, that's like right at the doorway
Okay.
of the hallway. I'm trying
Okay.
to be like
Okay.
here.
All right. Then I will also add this to the map. Need to have a second one.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. Unfortunately, there needs to be a second one because he's got ferocity 2. So I need him to get added to the initiative twice. Did it put him in?
So there's 2 of him for initiative purposes, not
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I'm gonna put him.
Okay.
off screen for you. All right.
Cryptid bear.
Let me move him out of sight, just so he's not on the map for anybody. Kind of like he's just a token tracker at this point. So that was Burke, and that takes us to Maria. Maria, what do you want to do? Sturge, you're next. Oh, Maria's not here.
I think she had a crash. She's on
Oh,
her way.
okay. Maria, what'd you like to do? She's like, I'm fucking out of here. I'm just leaving. I'll skip her for now and go to Sturge.
She found the way out.
She found the way out. This Sturge is obviously going to attack him. 2 Sturge. 1 rolls a natural 20. Poor Sturge. Poor Sturge. So this one's dead. I will move him off of the screen. The other one runs in, flies in, stabs him once. He grabs it by the needle on its face, snaps it backwards, and just rakes across the top, pulling this thing into pieces. Because on natural 20, were creatures get a response. So it's dead. That means that the food outside is hereby gone. That takes us to the beginning of the round. I'm going to reshuffle. Starting with the bear. So, with that said, let's go into our initiative cards here and see if anybody wants to swap their spots. We have an initiative 1 from Serving Hands. Does anyone want to go before the bear?
Anybody that can talk.
I mean,
might not be a
yeah,
bad
I feel like everybody wants to go before the bear.
Who
In
would like
theory.
the initiative 1 card to go before the bear?
Whoever our talker is for this situation, it is not me.
Wonder if you're not it.
Whoever the talker is. I don't have an answer for that.
I am pretty sure Maria is our talker.
I don't think she is. I think you're absolutely wrong.
Really?
I think you're absolutely wrong.
Really?
No, I don't think Maria's the talker.
I mean,
I can tell you she's the talker right now. Let me turn the map off so we don't ruin it for the audience. I'm pretty sure Maria is not our talker. That would be a persuasion. No.
yeah,
She is.
persuasion.
She's okay at it. She's okay at it. She's got a 12. She's not bad.
It's a
That's
lot better than
amazing.
it's a lot better than my 9, I think.
Well, unfortunately, your talker has
And
technical
my
difficulties.
5.
Therefore, ipso facto, cannot talk right now. Does anybody?
So, Burke, are you better than a 5 to a 9?
I can have her assist and give you a boon. I'm not going to make a roll not being here. That's not fair.
Go for it.
Now she's
Go for
back.
it.
Damn it, Georgia. I was hoping you had to do it. You having technical difficulties, Kelly?
My computer just crashed. Like it blue screen to death. Fucking Windows 11 can suck my dick.
Windows 11
Oh my god.
is not fun. I can attest to that. We've all had those. So you have an action left. I didn't want to skip you too much, so we slowed it down. I'll turn the map back on for everybody.
All right, let me get back into the alchemy real quick.
You would be your action. I rolled a new initiative, but we'll do your action from last round. He killed the other one of the lovely Sturge. What would you like to do?
So is neither of them are on the board now?
Nope, I just had the Sturge off to the side so I can keep them as a token to count the ones that are 20 meters away.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this is like a kitchen area or no?
The area you're in right now, yes, it is like a prep kitchen area.
If there's any like true silver, like silverware, I'm gonna grab it and then run out.
That I would need. You would need to take an awareness. It wouldn't be
An
searching
awareness
because you're like trying to spot it quickly. Normally, searching a room takes a stretch of time.
Okay.
which you obviously don't have time for. So this will be just
Right.
a fucking searching where you think the drawers are. Are there silverware here? So give me a quick roll, see what you can find. There's not a lot of stuff in here to search. You know what I mean? Like there's a table, there's a couple
Yeah.
drawers.
I'm patching it right away.
All right, there goes another
That was
patch for the
crappy.
night.
All right. I got an 8, and my awareness is a. I can't read the font. It's a 9. It looks like.
I would.
The
Yeah,
9's weird.
yeah, the 9 is weird looking. I don't know why.
Okay.
I didn't make the font. Yeah, that is a 9. That is correct.
Okay.
It looks like a lowercase g.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's enough. It beats it by 1. There is no silverware in here.
Fuck.
Like there
Alright.
is a lot of wooden silverware, a lot of wooden utensils actually.
Yeah, I mean, what self-respecting lycanthrope would use?
Well,
actual
they're on a
silver?
lodge. There is some cast iron stuff in here, like metal, like the old twisted style fork stuff that like a
but
blacksmith
not
would make,
silver.
but no silver. No silver. in
Listen,
here.
I'm going off of what
Smart,
Eric said
though.
last.
Smart,
What
though.
Eric said last time is that there's always potentially something to find
Correct.
for weakness. So that's what I
Correct.
was doing.
And
No,
I
no,
did
I'm not
say
giving. I'm not giving you shit. I'm just saying that
there
makes
is
absolute
silver.
sense.
I did say silver and magical items also count. That
Yeah,
is
I'm just
something
not
that you know.
sure. I'm just not sure if
Clearly-
my magical item is good enough for this right now.
That's true.
Clearly, a bunch of Claglins came through and cleared out all the silver.
Todd, what the hell?
You know, I just
Why
finished
would
making.
you say that
I just-
out loud?
I just finished making the Claglins.
2,
Because I know him. He's gonna have them eventually.
We got to test them in every
Damn it.
system.
5. So then I'll move here because then
Okay.
I can look out the window in case anything tries to come in
Sure.
through the side. And then also if he comes in, because it's still like my whip is extended for a shift, it's still 5 squares instead of 3.
Yup. So what I'll tell you are in these rooms, so you can kind of know. This is like a field dressing room. And a little bit of taxidermy stuff goes on in here. This is 3 beds for people, obviously, to sleep in on the south part. Up in here is a dining room, along with an area in here that they keep. Looks like maybe a large fireplace area. And then the next one over is like logs and storage for it. If we go to the next room, nothing but armor, shields, a sharpening area to make sure that their weapons are good if they get attacked. They probably sharpen all their axes in here. And all the hats are like hard hats. So like when they're working, they have something on their head for like trees fall and shit like that. And then on the other side over here, there are a few more beds that look like they are maybe backups for stuff. And then a table with like a den area and another fireplace. There is no second floor to this place, just so it's clear. We don't have one. So with that, we went to our next round. I already rolled. The question was, does anyone want to go before the Werebear using the initiative 1 card? Are we going to let the bear go? Audience, I need a D6 from you.
Serving Hands played this card.
We were discussing while you were gone, Kelly, that perhaps you could go before the bear and then talk it down
I mean,
as a.
I could try, but I've already moved myself out of the way.
Well, you could yell from there. Or if you go first, you could walk back up to the doorway and yell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever we're doing, we got to do it fast. The tides are rolling in. Oh, the thing that Eric told us he hoped
Yep.
got rolled.
Right. So I don't really want to go now, but
I mean, hey, you could talk it down before that happens. It goes first. Right now, if you take the 1, you will go before it.
all right, I'll take the 1.
All right, taking the 1. We're going to move her up into the 1 spot. What would you like to do?
Because you can move and then do the action and then move back if you've got your.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. You can break your
So-
movement up
so-
however you want. You can run to the door and be like, listen, we're friends. And then when it runs through, you can be like, fuck it, I'm running it. You can still use the rest of your shit.
Yeah. So I think we heard Burke say that the tides were rolling in. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move up, try around the corner,
Okay.
look at the werebear,
Okay.
and then I'm going to say, we're not here to harm you. We were sent by your employees to try and find you and any survivors. Please calm down and maybe come inside because apparently the tides are rolling in.
Now, it is too Bane to talk a lycanthrope down.
Well, all right.
Would you like to use Strength 24's Shift Attitude to get a boon and get rid of one of those?
Sure.
All right. So now you just have one Bane. One Bane.
Damn it. I failed. I got a 1 and a 14 because of the Bane.
Okay. When it turns, pulls like one of the oak trees down as it's turning. And you can see it looks like he's trying to control the rage.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a 6, everybody. And my cast already knows. I'm like, I hope we roll a 6 tonight.
And
Berserker.
As I see him like turn around and like it looks
there's
like
like
he's trying to control it, but
bright
he's also
glowing red. Yeah.
bright glowing red, and also he's got the black oozing from him.
Yep.
I come back right away. I'm like, I don't think he's in control right now. Everyone back away. So it was it? I was there. So
How far would you like to
1,
run? That's the real
2,
question.
3. Okay, so I was here.
Mhm.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm so excited, but also so very sorry.
And then I'm actually
Thanks,
gonna go
Rogue.
7 because they don't have silverware, but they might in case he goes fucking berserk.
Correct.
And his employees need to take him down.
Correct.
So,
That is a
gonna head
very
towards
good.
the armory.
All right. So, Berserker. The werebear loses control of its rage and goes berserk. With claws and fangs, the monster kicks and tears all opponents within 4 meters. You are luckily just out of the 4-meter range. The victims take 2d10 slashing damage and must roll a will to resist fear. After the rampage, the werewolf becomes exhausted. So, since nobody was near this creature, it freaks out. It starts tearing the trees down. It rips a larger hole inside of the wall. It moves in and starts thrashing the inside of this building looking for people. But it is not... It's definitely not control. It's picking up like meat off the floor they were preparing and eating it. It's just destroying the place. After this happens, I am exhausted and I cannot make any attacks in the next round for a round. But I have a ferocity 2, which means that I get to roll one more action after this one on my next turn, and then I will be exhausted for the next round. So Maria, you went. I freak out and start tearing the room apart. Now people are within 4 meters. In the distance, Regdur, you can see Sturge flying towards the building. And there's a good amount of them. Like half a dozen. With that, that's the Sturge's action. It goes to Georgia. Georgia, the bear is tearing the room apart next to it. And it is just pulling lumber, like full logs down out of the walls. Thank God this isn't 2 stories. You think they built this place 1 story because they knew he would wreck it eventually? And they want to kill the people on the 2nd floor?
Oof. Okay, so but he has not actually harmed any of the party, right? Burke, he didn't get you?
Nope.
Did he get you?
That is correct so
He
far.
didn't-
Yes, that is correct. I have not hit anybody.
Okay, that being said, Georgia, while, she is thin-skinned and doesn't like a provocation, he is an animal at this point, and it seems like he is likely related to another druid circle, and I don't want to cause any bad blood, so I'm gonna fucking run. I'm gonna go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over to here. Is this door unlocked?
No.
It's a courtyard.
That's a courtyard.
That's a courtyard, but isn't there a door right here?
No.
Yeah,
this
there
is
is a
No.
door in that opening, if that's what
Oh,
you're asking. Yeah. This
Okay,
walks
You
down.
are outside again.
Yeah, you're outside in a courtyard area, but yes, there would be a door that opens and shuts here. I will tell you that inside the house, anything that is an archway that goes outside will have a door. Anything that's an interior area is just an archway. There's no doors there. Leading from room
Okay,
to
I
room
see,
to
I
room in
see,
the
yeah.
cabin. But outdoor ones all have a door.
I remember that from last session now, but my brain went,
Yeah.
oh yay.
So you walked outside. It is like there's a fountain in the middle. It looks like fresh water. All of the plants are really well manicured. They're well maintained. And then there's the huge gates, which is what you were looking at when you showed up.
Right. I'm just trying to get to this one.
So you'd have to go through the armory and around. There is no...
Okay, so...
there's no
that's not
opening
actually a door
there.
right
No,
there.
that's just a light outside. You zoom in.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And I will say you, those lights
So,
don't
Chris-
look normal. They're not fire.
Really?
No. They are a blue
Interesting.
glow. So if you want to go through here where Maria's going, that would take you there.
I think I opened the door, go, nope, and...
Okay, you
then
continue your
head
movement.
that
Where do you
way,
want to go?
which, I would do a little... Oh, I'm going to sneak right past you for Maria. And I believe I would end up here for my movement.
Okay.
And then for this turn, could I go ahead and roll a knowledge check and maybe
On
a myths and legends
On
to
what?
see what those lights may have been?
Oh, no, that's actually technomancy.
Oh. Well, fuck. Okay.
Are you trained in technomancy? It's a secondary skill in Ethauntia.
No, I am not. I am not.
You
So
have-
I would not be messing
they don't
with
look
that.
normal. They don't look like magic. They are not. There's no fire in them. There's no moths in them. There's no like weird bug or bioluminescent like mushroom in there. You've seen weird stuff like that. None of that. Doesn't look normal in the slightest.
Got it. So Georgia right now is just trying to get as far away as possible. So that will be my movement.
Okay.
And then I think I would just pull out my bow.
Okay, so you're ready.
And just, yeah.
All right, great. Regtor, you're next, and you are the closest. Yeah.
I want to quickly down under this.
Well, I don't know what the fuck that means.
You've never seen Quigley Down Under?
I have,
Tom
but
Selleck?
I don't know why you said that.
So I had the gun trained past him,
Okay.
like in case there was anything coming. You said there's a swarm of sturge. I want to wait till two of them, at least two of them, line up and fire. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said they were like coming. Oh. Okay, then I won't do that. No, because that's yeah, exactly. No, that's what I was looking at the initiative chart exactly for that reason. Yeah, no, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna. Mm-hmm.
Eric, you're muted on stream, it says.
On
That's what serving hand says, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I would have been muted. Yeah, there's a lock cabinet on the end of that end cap. Like, you know
where
how
she is now, or the
on the opposite
or
end
this-
where I moved her close to Maria.
got it.
Everything else is open, double-sided, kind of like an A-frame.
Got it. With my movement, which is 12, I'm gonna get over here so I can brace against the wall and aim back through the doorways just in case.
Okay.
But I'm gonna use my action
Okay.
as I'm moving through the doorway. I'm gonna pull the silver spike from my war lantern out and hand it to Maria.
Okay, so like put it in her hand as you're running by.
Yep.
All right, Maria, you have a silver war lantern spike. You don't have a war lantern. You could fight with it. It is an improvised weapon, but it is definitely doable.
Okay.
Unless you have a war lantern, then you can slap it in there and be good to go. All right. For those who don't know what war lanterns are, if you have a patch, that's a war lantern. For anyone who doesn't know what they are in the show. Yeah, that thing. So that takes us to the next person. That goes to the bear. Let me slide our back.
Eric, let me ask the question. Could I swap it out and hand her the war lantern? Like, could I give her the whole thing?
You couldn't swap it. It takes too much time.
Okay.
You're better off just handing her the spike.
Okay. That's what I figured.
All right. Let me move him out of the way. From this room over here, and now I can put him back into play. You see Wilcuff rummaging through a crate at the end of the bed. And you just hear him muttering, there's got to be something. There's got to be something. As he's just fucking tossing like blankets and extra pillows out of this crate.
Sturgeon flies coming.
Well, fuck that. What about the bear?
The bear is over there.
As the camera switches back to you kind of aiming back down the hall, it runs in and slams against the other wall and crushes it. Like cracks it in. And it stumbles, like wiping its face, and I need a D6 roll from the audience for its second action, and then I get to do nothing at the end of this turn. 1d6 from everybody. Let's see what we get here. Maybe the audience will roll a 6, and the berserk continues. 'Cause you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. As it tumbles in, Burke, you can feel the hot breath coming off of this thing. And you can see, yes, he's got the red glow. The amulet is glowing red. There's saliva coming out, but there's also some of that black stuff like mixed in with it. As a 2, it grips onto the walls and it rends the walls as my last action. And I attack everything around me within 2 meters.
Well, shit.
Burke, as it pulls through the corners of the wall to like clap down on you, what would you like to do? You haven't gone yet. Would you like to try to evade?
Yeah, looks like I'm going to be evading.
There is no parrying this, or you can take the blow.
Evade. I'm trained in it. That's a plus. All right,
Okay.
Here we go. Evade. No, I'm going to patch that.
Okay.
Boom, patch. Actually, no. Instead of using my patch, I'm going to use the patch that Bear so graciously offered.
Oh, there you
Special.
go. I
Thank you,
has
Bear.
patch. I think he has patch 69, if I remember correctly.
64.
Oh, 4.
64.
There we go. That went from a 17 down to a 3, so I pass.
Ooh, as it rends through the walls, it claps the end of this solid
Saved by the bear.
6-inch slab wooden table and folds it in half. Damage, I did 11 points.
Yeah, that would have downed me for sure.
Burke, you do get your move still. You just lose your action. What would you like to do? As this thing is tearing through the house. And it's breathing heavy now. And like one paw's on the floor. And you see the red kind of diminish out of its eyes. The amulet's flickering now. You're muted.
All right, I'm going to move.
Oh, no, you
I'm
weren't.
gonna
You're
move back
thinking.
to
Okay.
here. No, I'm thinking. I was just repeating amulet.
Amulet, yeah.
So I'll move. I'll move back to in line with our friends here. I'm guessing the Werebearsl is not the kind to shoot lightning bolts down a hallway, so I think we're okay for now.
Allie's character did say, and I quote, "I think he is a druid of the Circle of Oak."
They call lightning down. They don't shoot it in a line.
We ain't Pathfinder anymore.
This is classic, like what we call lightning bolt formation in my group.
Yes, it is classic lightning.
Because we are ready to get hit.
The only
but-
safe one right now is Wilcuff.
Of course. But that'll do it for me for this turn.
All right.
I guess I evade and move.
You don't die immediately as you jump past the table. It goes to
look at it that
Maria. Maria, table explodes in front of you. Burke runs by. His food is flying everywhere. And this thing is kind of on all fours now, breathing heavy. Same situation, flickering kind of light in the amulet, and his eyes seem to be dimming. What would you like to do? You could try to negotiate with him again.
Yeah.
We
So
do
I
have
think
more
as-
shift attitudes as well, just so you know.
Yeah, I think as a free action, I'm gonna ask someone to open up that locked cabinet
Okay.
because that might have those things in there might be silvered, and that's why they're locked away.
Okay. Now, we do
Uh,
have our stratagems still. If you want to go for a capture instead of a kill, that is an option as well.
And then I'm going to try and talk them down one more time.
All right. Give it a shot, right? What could go? Who's going to roll a 6 again?
I mean, chat's doing pretty good so far, so they might. If I could use a shift attitude to get rid of one of the Banes.
You sure can. We will use, let me grab shift attitude. We'll use serving hand shift attitude card.
And I'm going to roll. And I got it. So this is what I say, because I got 5 and a 7, and my persuasion is a 12. So it's breathing heavily,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like flickering,
Mhm.
and it's got like this black ichor leaking out of it. I reiterate, like, we were sent by your laborers to check on you. That your amulet is flickering. You may be infected with the bleak. I'm not sure, but between the sturges and the bleak outside, I need you to pull it together.
Get your shit together.
Kinda, yeah. I'm like, you're wrecking out one of the only things that will help protect us from this bleak, unless you can do something with those trees out there. But if you can, I need you to get in control so you can do whatever you need to do about that.
So as the berserker part of it dies out, you see its eyes, the light glow you saw originally stays there. It puts its head down. It looks to you in like understanding, and it kind of huffs hard. Are you moving or are you standing your ground?
I'm standing my ground.
Brave
I'm
soul.
foolhardy.
Brave soul. Brave soul. At the end, it
Who's following the
says,
stand your ground rule? This is Florida.
normally there'd be a will to resist fear for Burke, but he just ran from it instead, so I didn't have him roll. I think the fear's already on set. But during this
I'm
time,
still
if you
angry, yeah.
persuade me, the werebear calms down, and on success, it flees from the scene. As it does that, it huffs once, it swats the table like rough, and runs back out the hole and out of sight. And you hear a roar out there, and you hear some crunchy noises, is what I'll say, is it's running through the tree and swatting Sturge to get away. But this does not fix the hole in the wall,
No, it does not.
which takes us to the Sturge. I'm going to roll a d4 for how many Sturge fly past the bear. Fucking one. One brave Sturge.
Sturge is like, I got this.
It flies into the room. So that was 1, 2, 3,
The mutant
4.
sturge, it likes the smell of citronella.
It flies, and it runs towards Maria, and it's in the aura of the citronella, which means I am at a bane now. So, and I have to roll a hit with these creatures. I do not successfully hit you, as it sticks the air next to you and misses your head. And then that would take us to Georgia. Georgia, the biggest fear is obviously going to be the tides that are flowing in and the gigantic hole in the wall, and there is no
Yep.
door to close dividing this area up. What's the plan?
I have a question about the cabinet
Sure.
that is in here.
Glass
the
and
locked
wood.
Cabinet. Glass and wood. Cool. Is it big enough to cover the whole of the doorway?
No, it's an A-frame, so it's a pass-through. Like
Okay.
it's like an oversized sawhorse. There's a beam at the top, one in the middle, one at the bottom. The end has like a cabinet that's hung on it, but it's not big enough to
Okay.
cover that bear-sized hole.
All right, and there is not a door over here too, correct? It's
Where'd you
also
ping?
open?
Ping? No, this door is closed.
No, between us and
in
between me and Wolkoff.
There is not. Now, you could probably seal up one of these archways If everybody gets in a room, you could probably seal that archway. The table, unfortunately, in front of you is pretty fucked up. But you might be able to find a way to seal that. I don't know if you have magic. I don't know if somebody has like a mending or a repair or anything like that.
I do.
There might be a way to do it that way. You could put the table back together and flip it up in the way.
Neat.
Do it that way.
No, that's not going to work. Cool. So in that case, I'm going to just deal with the immediate threat, and I would like to chuck some tar fire at him again.
Okay. Roll a cast. Oh, no, you failed casting last time, didn't you?
Previously.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. But this time I succeed with a 9.
All right. Well, how much damage do I take?
That is going to be 1d6 plus 1d6. Beautiful. That is 5 points of fire damage.
And I'm on fire now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It burst into flame in front of Maria. Are you going to move from your position or stay where you are?
Oh, I'm gonna get away. Would it be possible to use my... No, I wouldn't be able to do that either. Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with Wilcuff and...
So Wilcuff, out of this big
well.
steamer trunk, has got like, there's a sleeping bag, there is a blanket, there's pillows, all this like extra stuff for people to sleep. He gets to the bottom of it and he pulls out a false bottom on it and he throws it into the other room and moves to the next chest and does the same thing, opens it up, and he's going to begin to go through it. He looks to you and he's like, dump these. We need as much wood as we can.
I will do what he says.
That's just what he's telling you to do. You can do whatever makes you feel right. That will take us to Regdur. Regdur, what do you want to do?
Do I have a shot at it through the doorway above?
You'll have a bane because there's too many things in the way. You got a line of fucking people through a small doorway and it's flying around in a room. Sound like they hover and just sit there. They're not
But
sprinkling
I can see
salt.
it really well because it's on fire.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it.
You got one bane.
Okay.
You shoot it, it's dead. Like,
I hit. Highest was a 9.
great. I would love to evade, but I already made my attack. It made a life choice, and it was to feed.
That is the wrong life choice.
Oh. Audience, I do need a D20 roll from you.
9 points.
That's enough. I don't have enough left. The one on fire gets splattered and hits the ground. I will move him out of the way. I will keep him just to keep the initiative order. Are you moving from your position? Or are you staying there?
I'm going to move around to the other side over here.
Okay. So
Next
kind of
to-
tucking in the corner.
Well, I'm moving over here to open up the cabinet.
All right. Well, Burke's standing there, so you would probably be standing like here and doing it from the side.
Yeah.
Okay. It's locked. You can see there's a big ass padlock on it. It is glass. It's like old yellowed glass. You could easily break it. But it does have that like thin mesh behind it that you put behind glass to keep it from people getting in easily. But it's breakable. Or you can try to pick the lock, or you could break the lock off. You're out of actions, so what do you want to do? Just be there and be ready?
Yeah, it's next round. I'm going to try and pick the lock.
All right, Wilcuff throws another big fucking board at the bottom. They are wide enough to cover the doorway. Like if you stacked a couple of them, it would cover that doorway in front. So he's trying to get you like solid pieces to cover the door. And that takes us to the werebear. You hear a roar again out there. And you see the tides first hit the windows on this side of the building, boosh, and spill over the building. And then you see the werebear's paw hit the glass outside. And you see him holding some like weird yellow glowing pair of eyes up in the air with the other hand for Burke and Regdur outside that window. And the dark tides pour over this corner.
Great. Another ether duel.
And then that goes to Burke. There's two long, like, think of like false bottoms out of a steamer trunk. Usually use them to divide two things in a steamer trunk. They're not even false, they're just like dividers. Two of them are in the room. It would cover like 3/4 of the door. Like the door frame where Maria's standing. And he's basically giving you stuff to like cover and block the area. Or
Right,
you can mend the
I
table. He
guess
doesn't know you can do that. The table would work too. If you could mend it, just flip it on end, that'll also work.
My magic works on metal. Sorry.
Then
Doesn't
what's the
work
plan?
on wood. Nailing this stuff up, I guess. Once Maria's on this side of the door frame.
Are you going to hold your action to go after her?
Yeah, I think I'll swap.
Okay, swapping with Maria. Maria, what would you like to do?
Because I don't necessarily, I mean, I know Wilcuff's grabbing stuff, but I don't know if I necessarily know it's big enough to grab it. Is there anything in this room that I can pull to help block the door?
From the dining room or from
Yeah.
the...
From the dining room, since
there's
I'm already
logs
here,
and stuff
technically?
that's over here. And this is like a huge storage container with big metal doors on it, so you don't really know what's inside there. The table is the biggest thing, but it's split in half and kind of splintered. It would have to be fixed with magic. But the rug underneath it is large enough to cover the entire door. But you need some way to like see, like you can nail it up, but you need to like seal the edges or put daylight on the other side to keep the tides out. Because the tides don't have a weight to them at all.
So this is what I'm thinking, maybe. I am gonna try and grab the carpet as my action, because then I can bring it back, and then depending on what we have, we can either use it, like if Georgia can seal it with the pine tar.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can use it to help like stuff in gaps.
Okay. So you're gathering stuff and bringing it in. All right.
Yes.
So you get the rug. That's a really good piece to bring in. I'll mark that down. That goes back to Burke. She's now in the room. Maria, put yourself wherever you'd like to be between the armory and the guest rooms.
I'm here, and there's really no room for me to stand. So I give one of them the rug, and I say either we can try and drape it and like seal it with some pine tar or something, or some other adhesive, or we can use it to stuff the gaps. I'm gonna go try and collect some of the boards from whatever they're pulling in that other room.
You throw it there, and you look in the other room. There are bunk beds, but if you know how old mattresses are made, they're just like sacks with shitty fucking material stuff. They have no form to them once you take them off the rack. These happen to be dried pine needles that are wrapped and put in there, so kind of crunchy. But there's no like substance or form to them once you move
to
it.
block them.
That's why he's getting you wood. So Burke.
If okay, so the tools in the
Serving
Dragonbane
hands played
book,
this card.
if it lists carpentry tools as a single item to purchase, would that work?
Yeah, to make it.
If I were to make it with a spell?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. That's kind of the point of your character as a whole, so.
Yeah, I would like... no, but I can only do common, and those are uncommon.
And that was going to be my next question. You can spend more willpower points. Doesn't it have it to where you can spend more to get... Oh, no, you can't yet. That's a different spell.
That's something else.
Now, there are carpentry tools here. I wouldn't worry too much.
It is. A second... Power 2 is uncommon.
Oh, there you go.
There's a page break in my notes, and I didn't scroll down.
There you go. Do you want to spend the extra power?
Yes.
Let's see if you can cast it.
Yeah, so this is elementalism. Let me just roll. My elementalism has gotten pretty good. Every time we've rolled to level up,
you've gotten lucky.
So it's a 15 I got to get under. And that's 8, so we're good.
All right, so what does this look like? Because I don't know you've made tools before.
So I've made individual tools, but this is sort of a dire circumstance. Oh, I have to spend more willpower points because this has to be done with ley line pulling.
Oh, is this a ley line one for you?
Pulling from the ley line. Yeah, my powers in PF2 were like instant, but they only lasted a very short time. The way this one's written, it takes 15 minutes to cast, but then it lasts 6 hours.
Yes. Basically, you have them for a shift.
So, yeah.
So you're going to have to pull ley lines to do it now.
Because it says casting time is a stretch, duration is a shift, but then in the description it says it only lasts for one shift and then breaks.
Correct. That's correct. So stretch is 10 minutes to make it, and it lasts for a shift, so you have a shift of work.
Shift to 6. Then naming conventions.
But the stretch, so basically that's
Still
like
true, yeah.
a ritual spell.
Right.
So you could tap into ley lines if you want to do it now.
Yeah, this is an emergency, and I've got a good chunk of willpower
All
points.
right. Well, we
right
have the
now.
new rules for doing ley lines. We've only seen Georgia do it so far. Let me pull up our good old doc here.
So I spent the 4 that I needed to cast it.
Yeah, you had to
Whatever else
roll. You had to roll a little differently for this. Let me grab it for you. What's your? You said you're a 15, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're more than capable of doing this. So you start reaching out looking for ley lines, and you're doing this through the building. So goodbye, goodbye building if you fuck up.
It's 15. Is it 16? I can't read that.
You might be.
It's 15.
Let me grab our magic.
No, it is 16. I have it on the digital.
That's even better. Where are you at?
Not that it matters. I rolled an 8. I'm good.
Right, but there's a bane involved when you're using ley lines. It is with a bane, and it gives you a pool of magic, I believe, that you can pull from. It helps lessen the cost too.
I did a second roll as a 5, so I have to go with the 8.
All right. Let me find my ley line casting. Where the hell is it at? There we go. Channeling ley lines. You have to be touching the ground. You're in
Why
a
not? Touch it.
building.
It doesn't count.
You have to be touching the ground.
Okay, never mind.
You can step out of the building. And well, you know what? We're gonna go based on the art. Yes, you are on stone. I will count it. You're not up in a building. You are technically touching ground. Our rule is always, if you guys don't know, our canon is whatever's on the map is what is there. That's always been our canon for any game we've ever played. So I'll go with that. You have to spend an extra action to channel ley lines, though. You must have the channel ley lines feat or special ability from an organization or keeper. This is part of your training that you have. Failed check cuts you off from ley lines until you do a rest. Item gains broken if you have like a focus or you're trying to repair anything or do anything. And it is a bane to channel ley lines. So you have 1 bane, that's all it is. So you made it with that. The ley lines here provide you an additional 5 willpower to siphon from.
Oh, nice.
So it'll take this action, and the next round it will be done. And basically, it's a 2-round channel for you instead of 10 minutes. Because it takes an extra action.
So I'm pulling together metal like out of thin air almost, and it's like growing in this like like when you get a model set and it's all in the sprues, like there's the framework around it. It's like it's creating like hammers and screwdrivers and nails and whatever it needs, but it's all made out of metal, just completely just like he's like pulling it all together. And then as the final thing, like it includes a carpenter's bag for them as well, like a toolbox.
A little metal thin bag.
And at the end, like all the pieces like pull off the sprues and fall in there.
Does anyone remember when those lockpick credit cards came out that you put in your wallet and you like pull the lockpicks? That is what I think of when you do that, is the little lockpicks that you break off of the wallet set. You next round you'll have one on your action. So he's making and manufacturing this. Outside that window, they hit it against it again, and the bear's paw shoves a woman's face next to the window on the log, like the building, and rakes her head down the building.
Is this your card?
And then it would go to the Sturge. Audience, I need you to roll me a D6. And I'm going to roll a D4 for if any of these Sturge come towards you or they go towards the fight. You have another round of Sturge-free environment. No Sturge fly in. They must be dealing with the werebear and whatever is fighting outside. Just before it goes to Georgia, there is a gunshot outside. But it's from the opposite direction, the direction you came from. You hear a rifle go off. Boom. Doesn't hit the house, but you just hear it in the distance. And then we'll go to Georgia. Georgia, Maria's brought in some stuff to put up and try to stuff in corners when you guys start building this. There's combat outside. Burke is manufacturing fucking metal tools out of nowhere. Wilcuff is getting wood together. What the fuck is Georgia doing during this chaos? Because I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a round where the dice are not in the party's favor.
Oh, no, I can tell. So there are two things that I can do here. One is I can either help Wilcuff with looking for more supplies and things like that. The second thing is, so my question to you, with Georgia making the split-second decision, as he rakes this thing's head against the building, does it look like it's been taken care of, basically?
No, they're still fighting in the tides. Basically, the tides are like swirling around, and you can see whatever the bear has got is feminine. It's half his size, if not smaller. And it has its hand wedged through the side of the werebear's face.
Oh,
Like
you don't do that
fingertips
to animals.
into the bear's face.
Okay, but I can see it, and that's what I need.
Yep. It's happening
cool.
here. You can kind of see it, like, this is all, like, got some little windows on the backside of the building.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see it through this as you're throwing stuff out there. Is
I think
Wilcuff's just kind of
Georgia
handing
is just
things
going
here.
to say, yeah, Georgia is going to say, oh, hell no. And that is a 7 on my animism, which means this cast is successful using basically some of the last of my will points. That is going to be Purge. Exercising demon or undead, inflicting 2d10 damage on the unnatural creature. Armor and natural armor have no effect, and the spell cannot be dodged or parried.
What's the casting time, Allie?
The casting time, instant. Or no, casting time is an action. Duration is instant.
Do I get a save or anything, or do I just take it in the mouth?
You take it.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
It's not terrible. That's 12 points of damage.
So there
Some
is
cards to that,
a...
Alley.
Oh my
What's
God.
that?
Would you like to add cards to that, Allie, for damage?
I would love to add cards to that, Eric.
Well, let's go down. We'll use let me scroll down
I did
to the
just play
parts.
a Keeper's Eye.
No, I'm going to the beginning of our cards. Hold on here.
Okay, cool,
Would you
cool,
like
cool.
to know more?
We'll use an add a cost, which is a green. We'll use
There's
Okay.
more.
because I take them in order because I don't let you pick and choose. Would you like a green and a blue?
Yes.
So we'll use
That's
an
a
add a
D6 and
cost.
D4.
And we're going to add a stratagem DC, which is a Bane in this game. It's an old card, that's why it still says DC. So you get a D6 and a D4 on top of that. Those are from Star Drew and Serving Hands.
Beautiful. That's another 5 points, so that's going to be 17 total.
Fine. There is a scream outside that is blood curdling, and you see like the glass crack. It doesn't break the glass all the way outside, but it's loud enough to where like you feel like your eardrums are vibrating in your head. When that happens, all of the dark tides get sucked into this person as they inhale again. And you can see there's a woman in green robes as she is going to grab a hold of the bear on her action and blows the dark tides in its face. It's not enough to kill me and banish me, but it did fucking hurt me a lot. Good one, Allie. I see you found your get fucked in Ethauntia Dragonbane spells. That will take us back to your brother, unless you want to move anywhere. And she's over here for clarity. I will move the bear over here so we have a marker.
I think that Georgia would probably, have some shit in her arms and just bring it in to dump it.
So you bring it in, dump it. After you cast, you pick up and throw the wood in the room. And that will take us to Regdur. Regdur, the side of the house you're leaning against as you're getting ready to work at this thing is just getting pummeled outside. Like, its integrity, not the greatest. It's a nice log cabin, but you have a gigantic werebear slamming people against it, and it's going and getting slammed against it. What do you want to do? They're getting ready to set up one of these doorways to seal it off. I don't know which doorway yet because we haven't got to them doing that. Because we're still making tools. What would you like to do in this situation?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
God damn it.
8.
Star Drew says Tantar this lady.
So there's no window that we just saw that through,
There's
right?
yeah, there is. There's small windows underneath the shelves. They're just not on the map. The whole backside has windows on it. They're just smaller, like small windows like this. You know, like the little ones you fold out to keep the rain
Yeah.
from coming in. There's just windows there. They're just smaller.
Do we know, like, this is obviously the Ether Witch.
You don't know. You've never seen one.
We saw one in the portal on the way up.
You saw eyes and a woman, but it was from fucking 100 meters away. I will tell you. That would
That's
also
next on the
cost
list.
you willpower points. And I told him to get that when we started the fucking game.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then I was like, right now I feel like we need to be able to kill shit because that's
more
more
damage.
our job. So I see that. I was about to take out my lockpicks, but he just goes, "Fuck it," and
You gonna bust a window?
I'm gonna bust the glass case that I was gonna
Oh,
get
okay.
into for this sword and dagger and grab whatever else is in there.
So normally there would be no bane, but because it has the mesh behind it, like I said, there is a bane to busting this. Because you're trying to bust
okay.
glass with wire behind it.
Got it.
Even if you're doing the lock, it would be the same thing, but you could do it. And it uses
to pick the lock would be a bane.
no to break the lock off would be more banes because
Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't hear you say there was wire mesh.
Yep. But it's easy. You can still do it. You just use your skill for it.
I was gonna use lock picks to open the lock.
Well, you got to make a choice here. Which one are you doing?
Well,
Breaking it is going to be probably easier.
then picking the lock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Under pressure with Burke magically on the floor, summoning fucking ley lines and making stuff while you're trying to pick a lock. Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult right there.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
You
say
summon-
that.
Don't
but
bump him. Shit will go south.
it's not thievery anymore, is it? What's the? Is
Did
it
you ever
sleight
have
of
the
hand?
iron pulled out of your blood?
Not
It's,
yet.
Oh, God.
sleight of hand.
Sleight of, yeah, sorry. I just sleight of hand to do this stuff. Do you ever the iron? I love if you ever manufacture lock picks by like cutting yourself and pulling lead out of your blood, metal out of your blood, fucking picking lock picks.
Yeah, no. If there's wire mesh behind the glass, I'll try and pick the lock. That's what I was gonna do originally.
All right. It is 2 banes to pick the lock.
2 banes.
Mm-hmm.
Woof.
They are very shiny weapons. They are not in scabbard. There is fur on the back of it. And the swords are kind of hanging, and the sword and dagger are kind of hanging in there. There are scabbards that sit to each side, and they're kind of like on display. Well oiled, well maintained. And I don't have any real cards that I can give you. Let me look here. I just want to double check.
Just figured out what I'm going to use these actual Dragonbane dice for now.
There is nothing in here to give you a bonus. If someone was aiding you, there's a maneuver, but you're not doing an attack maneuver, so you're kind of on your own on this one. This is hard. Breaking it, you try to pick it. You might get it, though. You might get it. Or not. Or you could get all 20s and kill yourself.
I rolled a 3, a 5, and a 13. My sleight of hand is a 14. Eat a dick.
Nice.
As you start picking the lock and you get it in there and you get that satisfactory click and it opens. When it opens up, there is a smell of fresh herbs. And this cabinet is like sealed. Like there are wax around the edge of the cabinet when you open it up.
Okay.
And the bottom, where you couldn't see really well because the cabinet's up some, is a small open chest with some, I don't know, it looks like herb in it. And then there's the dagger and the sword. Short sword and dagger. Your actions are done. You got to move. If you want to grab the items, you can.
Yeah, I'll grab those and I mean, honestly, I'm gonna grab the chest too. Like, I'll grab anything that I can out
So you
of
like slam it, grab the scabbard and stuff, and start like getting things together. You're not going to be done. It's going to take more than a move to do all this. Because it's two objects need to be scabbarded, and then there's a box you can shut. So you like slam the box shut, grab the sword or the dagger, scabbard it, and then we go to the next person.
Okay.
All right. With that, I think that takes us to Willcuff. Willcuff runs out of the room, rounds the corner. He's carrying one of the boards. He runs and like stumbles over the cabinet behind Burke, and he hits the wall, and he's got like a small nail embedded in his wooden hand, and he starts etching a rune in the door jamb. And he puts the first board down, and you see nails sprout into the board and nail it into the door jamb. He's like, I got 1, 2 more. And he like takes his extra 2 moves and comes back around the corner for whoever's doing the next one. So he seals the first part. That's his. The bear would go, but this is the beginning of the round. We roll initiative again to give our party a chance. Ooh, buddy. Let's look at our cards just to make sure someone doesn't want an initiative card to go before the bear. We have a 3, so there's no way to go before the bear the first time, but the second time, if Georgia or Regder want to go before the bear, we have a 3 and a 5, which will put you before it.
I think that smelling the herbs, because I assume it is pretty intense, like fills the whole room.
It's
kind of
pretty
thing, if it was sealed with wax.
It's a small box. He smelled it because he's right in front of it. You're fucking 6 meters away.
Okay, gotcha.
4 meters away. And it's chaos. It's not like in the middle of gunshots you went, something smells like lavender.
You don't
Everything
know me
smells like-
very well.
Oh, actually,
smell it,
no.
no.
I'm pretty sure you would not smell it in the middle of a gunfight. Or people panicking and Burke is summoning magic out of the fucking earth itself.
Smells like ozone.
It smells like somene's running an angle grinder because Burke is doing what he's doing.
It does.
Smells like a fucking metal shop.
It smells like a metal shop. So does anyone want to go before the second action of the bear, or are you just going to go last, you two? Because it's just you two. It's just Georgia and Regder that are after the second action of the bear.
Does anybody absolutely have to go before the bear? Because I can swap. I'm ahead of the bear.
Yeah, but you going right now means it would get completed and people can use it to start nailing together the other 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You finishing
right.
and moving out
2
of the way
rounds.
is probably
I forgot
important.
about
Yeah. Instead of being 10 minutes.
All right.
So do either one of you want a 3 or a 5 to go before the second action? It's a pretty easy question.
No, I'm good.
Okay, you're not doing it. Georgia?
Out of here.
I'll take one.
All right, we're going to use Serving Hands 3 for you. We'll put you in the 3 spot now.
Georgia's very invested in the bear.
And 3 spot is here.
We know. You moved to Colorado for him.
I
We
will
get
have
it.
Maria go first still. Burke, you're first. The ley lines, you get 5 willpower. You can use it towards casting that spell. So that means if you want to maximize it and cast its highest level, all that kind of stuff. As you finish casting it, you get this manufactured. I'm just imagining like thin bent metal toolbox, with, like rolled over edges and like a top that kind of sort of opens on it on like a false hinge. And
Looks
tools
like a
in it.
Ritter's lunch pail.
And you
Like,
just hear
it all can, because
ting 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 ting.
yeah,
Everything
because
dropping
metal
into
and
it.
fire. It's basically like drop forging like into this like mold that's like invisible, and then it all cools very quickly, and then they break apart and fall into the and neatly stacked and ordered in the like you just bought a brand new.
You just
carpet
3D
kit.
printed a tool set. Yes.
Absolutely, 1000%.
As the magic fades back into the ground, you feel that the ley lines are still there. You do not tap at all. There's a chance that it could be retapped if it's needed as it fades away. And you have tools. You have a move left. What do you want to do? Well, there's a board behind you on the ground, and there you see nails that have already been driven in. They're like really shitty makeshift nails. In the other room, one of the chests, all the nails that hold together that box fall apart. As you just moved nails from one place to another.
Okay.
And then that would be your move. What do you want to do? You stay in there?
I could move out of people's way so that they can move in and get the door properly.
Did you yell tools ready? Oh, so you're going to go next to the glass where the bear and the person is fighting? The little windows across there?
Done.
Is that where you're going to go?
Right, then I'll not do that. I'll move back over.
Okay. So you're going to stand in the middle of the area that they're running back and forth between?
Damn it. This place is too tiny.
It sure fucking is. It's a house in the middle of the woods. You know what cabins are like. They're small.
2, 3, 4, 5. I can move that far.
All right.
So
all the chests are open. He's rooted through everything. You can kind of see it's in disarray. There is a small desk over here that he hasn't went through yet. It looks like a small workstation. It has post office, like the post box, like the little slots in an old office desk, roll top office desk. And that will take us to the bear. I need a D6 from the audience. While they're rolling that, he has one paw up, pushing her hand away, and you see him fold her hand backwards. She's just not strong enough, like all the way back, and throws her out into the tree. She hits a tree, and he bounds after her. That was my last action in my last round. I need to see what I get with a D6 of the audience to see if I berserker game. We want a 6, boys and girls, because I'm just going to murder everything. No?
3.
Outside the window, from the perspective of Regder, like putting everything together, there's like a side shot of this thing roaring. It does drooling jaws. The monster sinks its fangs deep into opponent's flesh. It jumps across and snatches one of the sturge out of the sky. The victim suffers 2d10 piercing damage. As it rips it and throws it against the glass, and the glass cracks, it goes out after the woman into the woods. That takes us to Maria. Maria, there's already one board up. Tools have been manufactured. Combat is going out. A gunshot went out somewhere else. What do you want to do?
Well, hopefully it's that one guy that we helped and might have to kill later. So I'm going to start boarding up.
So happy. So you grab a board, put it there, start nailing it in.
Yep.
And you're like basically getting it in place. It will take more than an action to nail the board up to get it going.
But at least it's there. So.
Yeah, you're already starting it. And then that will take us to Georgia.
First things first, am I able to use a keeper's eye to regain some willpower?
I mean, if that's what you would like to do, I'm fine moving a tracker.
I did make the craft check.
Okay.
Nice.
Keeper's Eye, we're going to use one from KJ, buying her way to victory.
Yes.
I will mark one of our... I'll mark this one.
This is like the first time I haven't just gotten like a 1 on the D4. It's beautiful.
Okay. What would you like to do after using a Keeper's Eye? Tapping the ley line that was just active around you.
So this is, and let me know if this would be not worth it. But I would like to cast Ensnaring Roots.
Okay. To do what?
I want to go ahead and have roots. So this is why I'm saying, like, tell me if this isn't allowed, because it's not technically how it works, but in a utility purpose, this is how I feel like it would work. So that's where, you know, victim is ensnared by roots and branches, unable to move, et cetera, et cetera. I'm wondering if I can use Ensnaring Roots to help reinforce the boards, holding them in place and kind of like weaving them up into that wall.
I mean, if Maria takes both boards and puts them like this, and if you're willing to roll with a Bane, because you're using it outside of its normal source, I would let you put the roots to kind of like hold the boards in place so people can just nail them up. Yeah, you get to roll with a Bane. Let's get that demon. Roll a demon so I can have a mishap in this game.
Instead, I rolled a dragon and a 14, which meets my animism.
It is your, so it meets or lower?
Yeah.
All right, so it goes off. You touch the ground, and I'm assuming, how does this look? You sprouting vines out of the fucking cobblestone? Are you
I think so.
warping the
I
wood
think
in the
that the
room?
way
Like, how's
it's,
this working?
Yeah, I think that I kind of reach out and touch the wall, and almost like the veins of the wood kind of like have like one little like kind of like pulse through
Sprout.
them, following those, and then as it gets to the door, it kind of sprouts out, and kind of, you know, the oak comes back to life for a moment,
Okay.
weaving it all up into place, and then the leaves just kind of fall off of it
All right.
as it kind of like solidifies the place.
As you get that held in place, and you have the 3 boards there, we go to the next. Are you going to move, or are you staying there?
I'm just gonna get the fuck out of the way and go into the corner.
All right. Against the glass? Where the beings are outside fighting?
God, unfortunately, yeah, Georgia's so curious about what's going on out
Okay.
there. That's
Okay.
So not back to it. You're just trying to peer through the window.
Yeah, she's like, how bad is it?
Yeah.
It's like traffic in any city. Gotta look
Yeah.
at the crash, right? Will Cup runs back around and sees that it's there, and he's like, oh shit! And he climbs back over. And he's like, Maria, just throw nails up. And he starts etching the woods. And I'm gonna try to cast again. Gotta roll the Bane. Ooh. Ooh, that was close. As he taps ley line and makes any nails that you toss up float and nail the board in place. Because this would take him a stretch to cast normally.
Okay.
You are finally in the room. You can put the blanket, get everything locked down. We are out of combat rounds. Outside, you hear howling. You eventually hear another gunshot. And the dark tides come roaring at the building, hit it, and they start pouring around it, like kind of like you're breaking the tides in half. You don't see the werebear anywhere. You don't hear Sturge anymore. You hear a cackling in the distance, a gunshot go off, cackling again further away from you, a gunshot a few moments later, and then it goes silent. Outside, the windows are pitch black. No matter where you look out of the 2 rooms you have locked down in. What does the party want to do? You are stuck in the middle of some form of river of tides. And you are in a valley, which means that pretty easy to contain tides in this area. But they moved in fast. What does the party want to do?
Take a nap.
Taking a nap? I mean, I'm assuming everyone's kind of looking out of windows, the windows you can see out of. You don't see any movement or anything. You don't hear anything.
Regner reloads so that he's at full.
Yeah, we're out of combat rounds. That's definitely fair.
Maria, I found this, and I hand her the sword and the.
They are really a really well crafted sword and dagger. They do not look dwarven made. They're a little longer. They're very slender. And they have some flex to them almost, like the short sword at least does. They both have scabbards for them to go in. They're covered in local fir and a nice oak. There is hand-pounded bronze around the top to kind of cap it. And then obviously the point area on the scabbard is also capped off. Looking over them, there is a maker mark on the scabbard and on the sword that match. So these are obviously a set, and both the dagger and the sword are made by the same person, whoever's mark this is.
Okay.
Myth and lore will give you a better idea, or a good craft roll using intelligence I would allow as well. Especially if you're a blacksmith or anything
Serving
like that.
hands played this card.
I will do Myth and Legends.
All right, let's see what we get.
Okay. 7 out of 13.
There is an elven crafter that is known to live in Moldavia. They refuse to go to any of the Three Sisters as their major city. And they live out in the wilds. They live out in like the harsh, dangerous areas in the plateaus. This looks like their mark.
Okay. Good to know for now, I suppose. I let the group know that that seems to be the maker's mark of an elven craftsman here in Moldova.
Georgia, what is this? And he'll pop the box open with the herbs in it.
Yeah, could I go ahead and roll? Would it be bushcraft?
I will tell you this. Yes, it is bushcraft.
Ooh.
I will tell you that you've not seen this plant normally, or I would just tell you what it is. It's
Okay,
not something
gotcha.
you've ever seen grown anywhere local.
All right, let's give it a shot. But Georgia's going to go, I don't know. I think you might be better suited to tell us on that. As I'm looking through it, that is going to be a 2. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's known as tallow grass.
Tallow grass.
It grows really tall, about, I would say, 4 meters in height, shoulder height for a normal human, roughly. I mean, you're talking pretty tall.
Wow.
A little over shoulder height in some spots.
Meters?
4 meters?
Meters, sorry. 4 foot. 2 meters is 4 foot, so 2 meters. It is usually a bright blue when it grows. It has a really white, thick spine down the center of it. And it is known to be a remedy for some pretty rare diseases.
Interesting. What do I know exactly which kind, or would I have to roll like a healing?
No, because you've never worked with tallow grass before. The closest thing you
Okay.
could probably put it to is probably Wolfsbane, what they use for were creatures.
Yep. Okay.
But
Got it.
were creatures in tallow or in Wolfsbane is dangerous. I will tell you, just in general, you would
Yeah.
know Wolfsbane is very poisonous.
Right.
Just the process of using it to stop something that's also bad, you may just die and taking the fucking drug.
Right. Okay.
This is a similar thing, but it's used for different diseases, and it's super rare. It's not local, and it's not something grown in the mountains usually. Like, you don't know anywhere in the plateaus that you could even grow this because you need a warmer climate for it, not as harsh of cold weather.
Okay, I think Georgia would relay this to the rest of the party, and then I would go into the room with the cots. I'd like to go ahead and take some of the cloth like off the bedding to make sure I can wrap it up softly so that the grass doesn't get.
It's got its own case. It's in
Yeah, you're right.
a small case. It's wrapped in a leather and it's dried. There is a couple vials in
okay.
there as well. It looks like an oil or a liquid you'd use to make a poultice out of it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I immediately went into when I'm transporting all of my dried herbs.
Yeah.
They need a lot of reinforcement.
Yep. It's already kind of made that way. They're strapped together, they're tied together properly in their little box, like a cigar box, a little longer. Are you doing anything about the 2 weapons, Maria? Is there any extra? Are you gonna look into them deeper and take like a shift, or did you just want like that's kind of like a general over the next 10 minutes? Everyone's getting themselves in place check. Are you going to take time with it, or are you just going to leave it at that?
I guess I can try and take some time with it. I'll cast Sense Magic.
They are not magical.
Okay.
They're not magical. In this room, the only thing magical are the liquids inside the vials that Georgia has with the tallow grass.
Okay.
That's it.
Are they silvered at all?
The weapons are... I mean, if Maria like kind of swings them around and fucks them a little bit, they're lighter than a traditional weapon. Maybe because they're elven made. But without like looking at them, taking some time, like the metal is not a normal metal.
Would Burke be able to recognize it?
Burke has a good chance. Absolutely, if he wants to take a couple moments with metal. I mean, that guy probably can rub it against his cheek and tell you when it was fucking made.
What would you like me to roll?
Craft with intelligence.
Sense memo. Okay. Crafting 12, and I rolled 17.
Do you want to patch it?
Yes.
Okay.
Use my patch.
All right. Let me mark it.
And it brings it down to a 4, which is a success.
All right. Yeah, it is. It is a worked mithril silver.
Jesus.
Ooh.
Specifically, both of them. Not just one. Like they both are. They are highly valuable. The crafter who made this is known as Illisash. He is an elven crafter. He comes from the Saragash Forest. You know that elves leave every season on pilgrimages to go out and kind of bring people back to the forest that they think people can learn from one another. And they're the only elves that are not in the Never Never. They vowed to stay out and help civilization like fix itself after the Sundering happened. But they are very careful about who they let in and out of the islands. And that's just a general, like if anyone has met an elf, talked to an elf, there's not a lot of them because they don't journey a lot. And if they do journey a lot, they're probably not from there, and you should be fucking worried. But he's a well-known crafter in these areas. The mark looks familiar. You know he was making stuff before you even were gone. This guy's older.
Right. Okay.
Easily, way pre-sundering. Like, so he probably has some old methods about him for making things.
Okay.
With that, there is mithril in Dragonbane, if I'm not mistaken. They do have the material in there. You can look it up. And it is specifically for the dagger and the sword. The scabbards are reinforced. They can be used for combat.
Oh, sweet.
That's all I can really tell you about that without like really getting into like a full shift of work on them. Now that you're all locked in here, are you guys going to rest? Are you going to... What's the party want to do? And remember, you can always take a rest, and being on watch is considered part of your rest, so that doesn't fuck with anything as long as everybody does get a shift of sleeping. You got beds, too.
I am very much in support of rest.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, if the tides are here, I feel like, you know,
might be
heading
stuck for a
outside isn't a
while.
great... Yeah.
Well, hold on. Wheelcup goes, do you all have any light to keep the tides away? Like, we need some strong light to do this. We can use a lantern to make all the fires we want. Right now, this seems weak, but if we get deep under the tides, like if this tide rises and we are further underneath than we want to be, regular lantern light ain't going to keep us safe. At all.
I don't
I mean,
carry much for it. This is not something we normally have to deal with.
I can't make daylight. That's not within my abilities. I can't even ask the ley lines to give that to me.
I mean, it's not necessarily daylight, but I do have this in case of emergencies, and Georgia will produce a small talisman. I do have a light cantrip on there, but
Look, he says that'll work
So much
for
to
like
do.
low-lying tides, like weak tides. You're fine, but if we get buried, and right now you can see it's flowing past the windows, like it's not over the building. This place gets engulfed, you're gonna have a hard time keeping it out. I mean, we can hope for the best and hope we don't get engulfed. We don't even know where this shit's coming from. There's got to be another tear between here and there.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If we are to look out this way through that lower window there, do we notice if those lights out there are reacting with the tides any differently?
Where at?
Ones
the
at the
courtyard.
technomancy ones.
How are you going to be able to see
are in the
that?
courtyard.
Isn't there a window
Front and back facing.
over there?
I thought this was a window right here.
I don't think so. Is there? Oh, you lucky fuckers.
Yeah,
Yes, it is a
there's a
light.
window.
There are no tides there.
Georgia would kind of peek out and be like, so have any of you seen those kind of lamps before?
Can't believe there's a window there. Those sons of bitches. Pull the curtains aside.
It's on the map. It's there.
It is there. You're right. I'm not arguing. There are curtains. You kind of pull them aside, and there's like a weird blue light coming out of there. If anyone has technomancy, and if anyone has it at all, and you're at least a 12, I will just tell you what it is.
Technomancy 12.
Yes.
I'm reading up.
They are what is known as the Azure Order worked with the True Faith, and they made something similar to like daylight bulbs. They run on energy, which means there's electricity to this place. You are on a river, which if they are using a mill and they have a water wheel, they're probably producing electricity, and these are made to keep tides away. Granted, you only see those two. But as you look around the building, in each of the rooms, there are hanging corded lights up in the rafters that if you knew how to turn them on, you probably would be safe.
Ah. All right. So I'll explain that and say it's like I think our best bet would be to find a way to get them all lit.
At least the rooms you're in, because you can't really go out of this room unless you go outside. I would say if everybody wants to give me a roll to search for stuff between the two rooms and takes 10 minutes to search a room, but that'll let everybody roll. I mean, this is the difference of your characters making it or not.
Is that
And that's just a spot hidden.
Spot hidden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 11 under 12.
Okay. Between everyone, you do find it. The one in the room in the armory has to be screwed in. It's not like all the way in. The one in the bedrooms, there is a switch behind the bed when you first come into the room. And it's like a big, one of those big lever switches for electricity. And
Like
it
a knife
sparks.
switch?
Yeah. We have no handle, just the bar across.
Right.
And when you hit it, it sparks. Like if you fuck it up, you're gonna hurt yourself. And the light turns on in this room and in the other room, which means you guys can rest, be on watch. There are 6 beds, which means that one person can make a bushcraft roll for everybody to rest properly. And you just take turns on shifts, and everyone will be able to rest for the night.
Okay.
How many adventures did it take to turn a screw in a technomancy light bulb? Apparently, all of you. All of you. It takes all of you to do it.
Bushcraft, 10 out of 12.
All right, everyone can rest for the night. So we're resting. I don't think we've done a full night rest yet in Dragonbane. You guys have went 3 episodes in a row. So let me grab our resting rules, just so we have them, and so that the audience kind of knows.
Man, I can't type.
Venturers. Don't worry, it's immortalized in the archive of YouTube now.
I spelled it right.
52.
Venturers.
So page 52 in the book for the players, if they want to look at it at all. But a shift rest. A shift lasts 1 full shift at a time, and you can only take place in a safe location where no enemies are nearby. Now, I'm allowing it because we're in a sealed-in house. During a shift rest, you recover all your HP and WP and heal all conditions.
I'm finally no longer angry.
If the shift rest is interrupted or by combat or hard work, it has no effect. Audience, can I get a 2d20 roll from you, please?
Full night's rest and I'm not angry or exhausted.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
Doesn't exist.
Right.
Can I get a full night I need a 2d20 roll for something fairly important.
2.
2d20 from the
Nice.
audience. Okay, that's a 2.
It was good.
17.
17.
So if this is a boon, whatever that roll was did well. If it's a bane, didn't go well.
Hopefully it's a boon.
As you rest during the night, I need everybody but Todd to take their earbuds off.
Oh boy.
It'll be short. Todd, you sleep for the night. What's your constitution score, bud?
My constitution is 18.
You have
Full.
seen people go through this before. Their skin starts to flake. They get black lines around their eyes. Their fingernails get that rainbow hue to them. They usually lose some of their fingernails as new ones grow out from underneath. You've seen this before. And at the end of your shift, you wake up from a nightmare and you fought off the disease for the first day, which means that you have bleakness, but you do not have the ether ghoul sickness right now. You fought it off, and it won't trigger again in the tides because you made it your first day. If you would have failed this way, sickness would have continued. It would have been a problem. You know that, the audience knows that, but you still have features of fighting it off. You are going to look a little ill when you wake up in the morning, and the party doesn't know. So when I tell them you look sick in the morning, you can argue it however you want. I'm telling you you're okay.
Okay.
But they may not think so. Just as a heads up. Doing the thumbs up dance. Okay. Rest is good. There's a couple roars on the watches during the night. No sturge show up. The next morning, when you wake, the tides are gone.
Made it.
There's a knock at the front door. Outside the window where you're all sleeping in that guest room, because I'm assuming everybody stayed in here, is my guess. You see a dwarf outside, wrapped in an old blanket, knocking on the door, covered in blood, still smeared. But he's tried to wipe it off, but he hasn't done a great job. When you look around the room, I will say that for sure, Regder, you notice that Burke is a little pale.
Okay.
Nothing else really other than he tapped himself using ley lines yesterday. He doesn't look 100%, but he's talking and all that kind of stuff. I just want to at least let you know, you notice he's not looking the best. That's just from the private rolls I made in the background. You're the only one who noticed.
Well, I suppose we should let the...
Oh, and you have to trim your fingernails today.
Right. I suppose we should let the owner of this place back in, right? You know.
Lil Cuff goes, he looks out and he goes, I don't think so.
Well, he's going to come in anyway. There's a fucking hole in the back wall.
I was going to say.
I mean, we were sent here to
Yeah,
find
he's
him.
the reason we're here.
What are we going to do? Open this window and let him in the fucking window? We sealed the goddamn archway.
That's a good point. He walks over to the window.
Shit, I should have shut up. He backs to the fire a little bit and he grabs the poker and sticks it in the fire to start heating it up.
Is the are they the to open them
The
up?
old
with
crank
little
window?
detachable
Yes,
handles?
absolutely. I had those growing up, by the way.
Oh yeah, so did I. They came off all the fucking time.
Yeah, I take them off, but they're
Anderson
really great to
windows,
climb
baby.
out of. They're really good to climb out of. The double panes like that, because when you climb out, you don't get wet. Because they've cranked out.
True.
It was great. You could drop down below, put your jacket on, made no noise, easy to sneak out of a house. Not that I would do those things.
Mine had the crank, but they opened sideways.
Yeah, so did mine.
Mine did
Fan
not.
in 'em?
Mine was this kind.
My last apartment had that
It
kind.
was great. You could have them open when it's raining out. It's fucking great.
We never got his name.
You
The
know
foreman?
his last name. You know it's the same as the mining camp. You know that it's Hindalis. That's the name of the mining camp. The logging. Well, I keep saying mining. Sorry, logging camp.
Master Hindalis, I presume.
Takes a deep breath. He's like,
Hey,
sorry about yesterday.
I mean, we're alive. So are you, and that's probably good.
Yeah, and he turns and looks at you, and his eyes are just, there's this black and red blood smeared all over his face. It's in his
You
beard.
look like shite.
Right, the water's gone. I tried to wash off, but there's nothing left.
Hey, we kind of look. Long story short, if you want to get into another spot, you might as well just go through the hole in the back. If you want to get in here, just climb through the window. It'll make sense when you come in.
He looks at him, he's like, you found the lights, and he walks over to start climbing in the window.
Okay.
Nothing
I'll
on.
help him in.
He walks in. He will walk around as he's talking to you. Everything's just all over the ground. He goes, and he like grabs like some old clothes out of one of the trunks that are on the ground. Wilcuff has not pulled the poker out of the fire yet. Like he's ready to go. The guy puts on clothes, walks in the other room, gets a helm to put on, grabs a cloth, dips it in one of the water buckets for doing like metal smithing stuff to cool weapons, and wipes his face off. He says, "I'm apologize for such a rough first meeting. I did my best to protect my men. I got as many out as I could. We were attacked the second night with the few that stayed behind for me to help pack up the camp. And unfortunately, whatever those creatures are, took them in the night.
Hey.
Well,
the ones that got out were the ones who sent us to try and help.
Oh, are they all right?
Actually, I wasn't there for the beginning of the episode. Or for the
everyone made it.
So
No one died on
fine.
the trip back at all. One guy was missing. That's not true. One guy was missing that did not make it, but everybody else did. He says,
I believe one was lost in the.
"See the one up in the watchtower right now that's been popping shots off at me?
Oh, he's still there. Maybe.
Yeah, that's good news.
Yeah.
And Georgia's again like just ripped some fabric to make like a makeshift like mask sort of deal, and has some gloves on as she's looking through her pack. And she's like, but I would say that also you helped just as much as you know, that's all your stuff. And we're all,
I'll fix it.
okay.
Well, I'll fix it. We're on
I'm sure you will.
We're on a druid's knot, so I can repair the wood pretty quickly. It just will take me a day or two." He looks at the ground. There's like a burn mark with like metal flecks all over the ground.
Yeah.
I see you found it
while he's
already.
talking to her, she is like already like doing like diagnostics and trying to make sure that he's healthy.
No, I'm fine. I puked up whatever was left of those creatures last night.
You puked him up.
Oh, there's like a wing stuck in part of his beard. He kind of pulls a piece out. Yeah. The bugs don't taste good. They taste like rotten food.
Well, it's very possible that with everything going around down at the camp, it appears as though some of the food or something could have been tainted.
I'll be honest, I don't eat with the men often because I don't eat the same diet as them.
How are you feeling aside from that? Yeah.
Good night rest. Slept in a tree.
Right.
I'll be honest. I ain't seen dwarves in a while. If you don't mind, I just.
Forgive me. Regtor Barrack and offer
yes.
my hand.
Rodham Hindalis.
Rodham.
I was a
Pleasure.
surface dwarf when it all went down. I'm not one of them ones from any of the clans or kingdoms.
Aye.
Small family, still have them. They're out in Holdenar now. We sent most of them out there. I was going to finish logging this area for the local community and then move myself out there too. But with the recent turn of events, I'll probably be staying out here a little longer.
To what end? I mean, I get the camp, but it's
Till the other parts of my life are a little more controllable.
Is it were you bit?
Bit. Oh.
Aye.
No. Fuck no. I won the Archdruid duel before I left the circle. And in doing so, the legacy was passed on to me.
Oh, I see.
He was getting up in age and wanted to step back from the position of running everything. I was the next in line. There was only a handful of Circle of Oak out here, less than a dozen of us. And I decided that I would pick up the mantle if it was needed. We fought for 2 moons, and at the end of it, I came out victorious. And he kind of like taps the amulet.
Oh, I.
But I'm not good with it yet. I mean, I can trigger it. That's easy. Anger's easy. You just think about all your family and friends being gone during the Sundering. Let me tell you what. You want to shift as a were, be a dwarf.
He kind of gives him a knowing nod.
Yeah, our whole life has nothing but been bad for the last 67 years.
Aye.
So, apologize. I meant no harm and no snack on any of y'all, but yeah, sometimes you can't keep it in check. I can shift whenever I want as a shapeshifter, a true shapeshifter. I can shift whenever I want. I just, coming back out of it, it can be difficult. I got to distance myself from things that can be seen as food.
Hey.
I can understand it.
So,
well, this, Regder, this is my sister, Georgia.
Nice to meet you.
And I will point to, or I'll like
hand wave
gesture to everyone else, but not say their names.
Hey, may I ask you, what the golem or whatever that is next to my fireplace? He looks like a dwarf, but he don't smell like one.
He is one of our companions. I guess he is also getting used to living his life under some new circumstances.
He's made of a weird wood that ain't native to anywhere around here.
No, but he's quite helpful.
That wasn't the question. What is he? Is he a golem? Is he full of gears? Is he a Thomas? What is he? Will Cuff goes, I'm right here. I do have a voice, if you don't fucking mind.
He's made of that.
He's definitely a dwarf.
Aye.
What happened to you? And he pulls like the hot poker out and like put like so the guy can see it. He like puts it back in the rack. He goes, let's just say I travel with people. It went poorly. I came out this way. I blame the house. It sounds like I'm a gambler. That's not what I meant.
Well, I mean, it's true enough.
It's like the house. You said you're talking about the big house that appears out of nowhere?
Aye, that one. Aye, we've all been in it and out of it.
We were harvesting wood near the river further west of us here, and it appeared in the middle of a goddamn forest. Just trees were gone. Two of our men came in. What came out was not good.
Aye. It's cursed.
That's putting it lightly.
One of them came out. He had
what it was
3 faces, and I think that's more than cursed. I don't mean like 3 heads. I mean 3 faces on his body. Something about a man and a belt and a skull-faced woman.
Yeah. That sounds
Mother and father.
horrific and true. Yeah.
You all been in the house and you came out normal? Wilcox goes, besides me. Yeah.
I
all
wouldn't
fine.
say normal. It's been a winding path, at least. A lot of switchbacks here and there.
Well, I don't know what you all needed from me. If it's just to get the men out and you came to help, I thank you. I don't have a lot that I can pay.
You don't necessarily need to pay, but your men are waiting for you.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to tell them I ain't coming back. At least not right now.
They're awful loyal.
They're loyal because they're paid well and taken care of. I like my men. They're like second family. But in this situation, it's just dangerous. If you ask them, I haven't been around as much. I've been scouting new logging sites. I'll be honest, I've just been going out and learning to keep this in check. I gotta ask you something. For a bunch of hunters, you didn't kill me on sight. Last group of hunters that came through here from one of the 3 sisters, I fought tooth and nail to get away from them so that nothing bad happened. Why the fuck aren't you the same?
I had a feeling from the description that your men gave us that you might have been either a Lycan or a shifter of some sort, and I don't randomly kill cryptids unless I have a reason.
It's the first time I've ever heard that out of a hunter's mouth in the fucking plateaus. It's usually shoot first, skin them later. Wilcoff goes, they are worth a shit ton of money.
George is gonna just kind of tap her Circle of Pine emblem and just say, and I'm no hunter. So
that was going to be my next question.
Also,
Listen,
you saved our lives.
I did what I could to redirect the aggression on something else. That woman was out there, though. She hit that tree and snapped. And I'm telling you what, she stood up and realigned her bones like it was just another day in the morning.
That sounds horrible.
When I hit her, she let out so much of that black material. Those I don't know what it looked like. The sky was closing in on me. It filled the valley. And when she left, I don't know, she fled. I didn't track her well enough. I started changing and I went for high ground to get out of whatever this shit was. What was left behind? The water is not water anymore. It flows like the sky, but clings to the ground.
Eric, can I roll a myths and legends to see just how much we would know about the tides?
We've done that before already. The only thing that people know
Yeah.
is what Burke has said, is that the dark tides are dangerous. They can create things, they carry disease, but is nothing on record short of the sundering that swapped large bodies of water from water to tides. He's like, my fear is they're running over the waterfall.
Oh no.
That means the lower plateaus are getting doused in whatever the fuck this is. That means the water the people drink and everything is just...
It's not safe then.
Oh, I wouldn't try to drink it. I spit it out when I was transforming back, and I mean, I'll tell you what, I have not vomited up so much black in my life. Like that stuff looked like I swallowed tar.
I mean, she did breathe it into your mouth.
She tried. I broke her jaw.
Oh, good. Grand.
I really would feel more comfortable with us leaving you here to
I ain't
work
going
through what you're going through. I would feel it would put me at ease at least to just give you a quick medical check, make sure that you're still going to be here when we come back.
It's kind of her thing.
Fine. He just starts taking all of his clothes off again.
All right. I'm
'Cause
going
it's-
to give him a physical.
This guy doesn't get to wear clothes much anymore because he fucking will ruin them all if he shifts. While she's giving him a medical and giving him once over, he will look around and notice that the glass case is broke.
I unlocked it. I didn't break it.
Oh, that's right. Open. And all items are missing. And Maria has them on her right now. I mean, it's not like she's hiding it. He goes, I'm going to ask something that the Archdruid before me said. Those weapons are passed with the curse. You give them to somebody so that if anything goes wrong, there's someone who can take care of it. I don't have any of my circle here to handle that. As soon as I changed, I left so that I could learn to control it. I brought this stuff with me. I told my men if they ever needed to defend themselves to open that case and defend themselves. I didn't tell them why. They don't know about me. They know there's bears in this area, which is true. There are a lot of bears, which is normal. I've seen them. But I need those to be in someone's hands. You can either bring them back to my men if you think someone there is capable, or I would really, he like moves his arms so she can check ribs, like one of you to take it up to be willing to help, because you're the closest thing I have to hunters in the area. There ain't no other lodge, no other outpost besides yours. I'm assuming for the one up the plateau, that's only like a day or two.
Right.
What do you need if I to take that up? Would one of you be willing to if I get out of control and there's rampaging somewhere in the valley or in the plateaus, that you would take care of it? I know that's a big ask. We don't know each other. Wilcoff goes, I would kill you in my sleep if you need it.
That's Wolcuff. He's a giver.
I do have a question about those before we commit to anything. The tallow grass, I haven't gotten to really interact with it before.
If anyone is bit by a creature, a shifter that is of the bear variety or genus, tallow grass, if you give it to them before they shift on the first full moon, they have a chance to fight it off. But you got to mix it with an ointment. If you have that box, that's what it is. You mix those two things together. You grind it in a poultice or into a drink of some form. Tea is usually what we recommend. Something hot to cover the horrible taste. I will tell you that it is dangerous to drink. I've seen men not make it just from drinking it. It's very similar to Wolf's Bane if you've dealt with that at all. But it's arid and hard to grow. So we have to go down out of the mountains, far north, and gather it from the Marrow Valley. It grows pretty abundant over there.
Got it.
There's enough for 2 doses in that box. I'd like to keep one for myself in case something goes wrong. I can help that person out, but you're welcome to take the other one to study it. If did I bite one of you?
No, we were just thinking that this was
I didn't think
the
so.
best.
You had all your arms, so I assumed I didn't. But that brings me back as he turns around so you can check his back. He's got bruises and scars all over him and stuff like that, but he seems absolutely fine.
Nearly folded me like laundry, but
I do apologize for hitting you. I wasn't trying to. I was trying to push people into the room, and I broke the window, and that's just when everything went sideways.
Kind of look over to Maria, look at the weapons and kind of
even if it's not one of you, if your entire outpost would be willing to do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it.
I would be willing to do that.
Well then, I'll tell you that those weapons are made to deal with lichens. It don't matter the kind.
They're
silver.
Mithril and silver.
Well, they're mithril and silver, but when in the presence of a shifted lichen, close enough, they'll really sting them. They only work, though, if you're fighting them under a full moon. Other than that, they're just mithril weapons.
So, what happens if you transform without the full moon?
I mean, I can control it. I can't say that. I can control when I shift. Full moon makes it a little more difficult. I usually leave the area, kind of get out into the wild somewhere. It becomes very consuming, I'll say. If you aren't given the curse by somebody who's a shifter, a true shapeshifter, controlling it is almost impossible. I don't know if anyone actually can. I think the moon comes out and you go about your animalistic business. But the good weapons are well made. According to the old archdruid, he said some friend of his made them, some elven craftsman.
I'm familiar with the mark.
Oh, well, shit. I mean, he's weeks from here. Weeks out into the wild, but I know he's still around. I don't think he died. They live longer than I fucking do. If that's the case, you all are willing to kind of help me with this and keep things in check. I've not hurt anyone yet, as a heads up. I've been very good about it. Nothing has gotten out of control. I sent my men away because I could smell some diseased bears showing up, and I was afraid that maybe some other creatures that were wares were around that weren't true shifters. But when those things showed up, I tussled with one of them, and they had tendrils and shit crawling out of them.
I hold my whip kind of like this.
Yeah, kind of. That is disgusting, but yes, kind of like that. Kind of fucking like that.
We've been dealing with them all season.
Season?
Since last season.
Since the airship crashed.
Oh shit!
Right.
Oh, man, I've been so busy. I totally forgot about that thing. We had some of that fiery log come down off the edge of the cliff. Collected that stuff. I I don't know what we did with it. It's somewhere around here, but
Were you using it to maybe cook the food or like firewood or anything?
I mean,
like
we
that?
were low on burnable woods after winter. We have a bunch of lumber, but we don't burn all the lumber here. We only take the stuff that wouldn't be good for building. Maybe one of the men burnt it.
That I turned to the rest of the group. I'm like, that could explain why the food was tainted.
It could.
They fucking poison themselves. God damn it!
It's
With wood?
It's a curse from a keeper.
Oh. All right. Well,
So
All right.
I'm gonna be honest. That's out of my purview. I don't.
it's kind of out of ours too. We were trying to learn about it. We know that fire harms them, which is why we were burning the
All
bear
right.
bodies.
Yeah,
when we
no.
fought 'em.
Fire
So,
good. Burn them up and repair the fence. Fix the house. I invite you for dinner. But I'm pretty sure I ate all of it while everyone was gone. There might be some meat left that we can cook. We could go hunting, but I don't really have anything to give you. My larder
the,
is pretty much full of raw meat.
What's the sturge situation outside?
Oh yeah, those things are around all the time. We keep the fence up. They fly into them, get stuck. We usually come out and just needle poke them, get rid of them. But yeah, they're bad at night. We have tons of
But
their
I
little
mean-
nests around here.
Right. No, I'm talking about like currently. Like what's
Oh, you don't
the
see any
situation like
anywhere.
outside?
None.
Okay.
He's like, I killed maybe 6 of them. There's more. There's always more. They don't ever go away. I crushed a couple nests at night. Usually we break the nest up, kill the ones that are there. We're pretty careful about it. We do it from range. Fire's really good. We just be careful not to burn the forest down. But yeah, man, they're all over. Those little fuckers make those nests out of mud and shit everywhere. But maybe now that the river's gone, they can't do that. Maybe that's the only good side of this.
Well,
they've been taking blighted blood.
I'm sorry. You're what now?
the blood that some of them were collecting out of the mud yesterday, last night, however you want to call it, it was tainted with that.
Huh. Yeah, the stuff that tastes great.
Yes,
Well-
and considering you have kind of consumed some,
Yeah,
I rolled a 4 on that medicine check.
he seems absolutely fine. Nothing wrong. I will say again, you would notice after that check looking over him, no signs of anything. When you wipe everything off, everything wipes away. He's got some scars, but even at the time you double back to like double check your work, some of those scars are even healing over.
You're impeccably healthy for somebody who's
Tell me about it.
had
I
that
used to have a bad
in your
leg.
mouth. Really?
Oh yeah, a long time ago, before I picked up. It doesn't matter, but I twisted my knee. Foot was totally backwards. Fell down, hung from a cliffside from it. Knee was dislocated. It was bad. But ever since I picked up the mantle of the circle of oak, I'll tell you what, I've never felt healthier.
Interesting. Okay.
Calm
Have there
down,
been
sister.
any? Have there been any previous recordings of like lycanthropy preventing illnesses?
I mean, most lichens don't get the time to come in for a fucking checkup.
That's true.
Like, you don't
That
come
is
up to the
true,
doctor's
okay.
office and be like, full moon in 3 days, doc. I just want to see how the fuck I'm doing today. Am I good? Everything in line? My organs good? Like, when I go on my tear, am I going to pull my hindquarters running at Mach 5 through the forest chasing a deer? That doesn't happen.
I feel like it's curse fight, where
Yes.
the curses are dueling each other, and the
Yeah, like-
lycanthropy curse just like eats the other curse for breakfast.
Yeah,
And
he's like,
eats it
I
up.
don't really have anything to tell you about that.
Bear versus
You're like, let me think. You're like,
curse
no, that's
versus
a
curse.
that's a YouTube series I was thinking about. No, there's no bear fight. Lichen disease fights.
I'm thinking curse fight. I'm thinking
Yeah,
like
curse
the
fight,
lycan
yeah,
curse,
right,
like
yeah.
just
Which is
Takes out
like
the other
they
curse.
used to do the Deadliest Warriors. It's like,
Yeah.
which curse
Yeah.
is more powerful?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, well, if you want, I can
Lycanthropy is my health insurance.
my health insurance. If you want, I can come with
Blue
you.
Cross Blue Fang.
I can get you back to the lift. The lift on my side has been down. We probably could fix it, and I could get you back up to your plateau. Cut a day off your travel for you. I just needed men to get the counterweights back in set. We take them out when it was winter. We have to move them when it gets too wet out so we don't collapse the whole thing. But with some work between all of us, we could probably move it and get that back up and running for you.
And we can also show you what the tainted food looked like to keep an eye out.
Well, I went back through the camp this morning before you all got up. There ain't no bodies.
I mean, we did burn most of them, didn't we?
There was some ash spots. One of my men was sleeping in a tower. He seems okay, but I don't think he's doing great.
He's not. He's fighting.
I mean, lucky him, he was up in that. The tides went right underneath it.
Yeah, that could have gone poorly.
So let's well, I got some rations. Let's pack up. I'm gonna go get some clothes out of my room. And he like claws back out the window, goes around the back of the building and comes in, gets his keys off the wall that's on the ground, and opens the front door.
Georgia's gonna call out the window and be like, and if you don't mind while you're doing that, maybe if you can write just a letter to your men, just kind of proof of life,
Be honest with
so
you,
that
darling,
they know you're
I
safe.
Don't know how to write.
Oh, okay.
I could draw real well. Blueprints, things like that. I know words, but like, I'm not a great writer. If I write something, you give it to them, they're not going to believe it's for me. I tell them their schedule every day. There's no way in hell.
I mean, that could be proof enough. We just tell them, hey, we asked him to write something and he said no because he's bad at writing.
Look, they know those weapons. If you go with those weapons and tell them what's going on, they don't know about what I am, though. I would greatly appreciate it if you leave that out of whatever you tell them.
You said you just went down to camp and you saw the guy that was there. Did he see you?
No, he's asleep, sound asleep. Like I said, I peeked in. I was a human, I was a dwarf at that point. I looked up in there. He was sleeping. His leg is tied off. He's looking peaked, though.
Right.
He's a werehuman.
So
once a month he gets real tall.
He turns real tall. He's a tall folk.
let me ask this question then. Are you planning on then coming back here to work? Are they planning on that?
I'm honest, I didn't really think that far. I don't really think about who's taking over the logging camp. I mean,
There's a plague and a curse, but we have to get back to work.
yeah, he's like, I don't know, camp's closed. Logging camp's closed right now.
Well,
The men come on and they want to come back down here. They're gonna have to find a new way to log. There's no water. That's
You're saying it's all gone.
it's gone. Look.
Oh.
He unlocks the door, and like when you open up the door, remember it was like across those bridges and waterfalls. And those waterfalls are just tides that are floating down over the water where the waterfall was.
On McCready.
What's the source of it?
You
It's
don't
like-
see one from where you are.
Well, no, but like
It
So
goes
is
up
it
into the
coming
mountains.
down-
It comes from the plateaued mountains in the east and comes west, which you guys are west of that. And it's flowing down and it drops down into a gully of some form, but you can't see the bottom. So it's all fucking tides now.
we're going to definitely need to look into that. But this also raises the question, how are you going to be surviving without drinking water?
What do you mean? I'll just go up into one of the plateaus and get it. There's tons of other hunting establishments that are like people, small cabins. 2 people live there. We trade with. There's a small village down the way that's not down below, but in the plateaus. Or I'll head to one of the 3 sisters, grab provisions, and head back. There's some new town above you all. Some fucking
Merrifield.
Yeah, walled in fucking community and nut jobs. There's that as well.
Rex.
We could. They're from Cadra, right? And they travel a lot. They might
I
have
don't know.
some technology.
I know they brought that new faith in. People have been up in arms about that.
I don't know about the faith part, but they might have some technology that can take advantage of the tides.
Maybe. I'm hoping eventually it runs out. I mean, you'd have to go upriver to wherever it's coming from.
And Georgia,
Well-
you said that creature reacted poorly when you used purge against it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure did not like that shit at all.
I do have a lesser version. I have Banish in my grimoire.
Hmm.
So if we get some monster parts, I can take some downtime to start crafting potions of Banish.
We
to use
do-
against it.
We do have.
Brilliant.
We do have. Oh my god, how does that work? Do you drink Banish and say the holy words and it acts like casting the spell?
I was thinking more like
Or you
stronger.
throw it at him?
I was
like
thinking,
flask, yeah?
like a stronger version of like holy water or
Yeah.
something.
Holy water.
Yeah, holy
Yeah.
shit. Okay, yeah, 100%. Well-
Alchemical holy
I,
water.
Uh-huh. No, magical. She uses
could-
magic too, don't you? Because you have a
Well,
little
it's
magic.
It's the thaumaturge bullshit. So
Oh yeah, who fucking knows what it is? It can be made of twigs and berries and children's hope. I don't know.
I'm certainly happy to help with those potions as well. I'd like to, learn a little more of your side of alchemy.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give you the spare keys to the logging camp. When you get up there, talk to my men. Give it to whoever's kind of decided they're in charge, and tell them if they want to come back down to the camp, but give them the warning. Like, this camp is going to be dangerous to use. You're going to have to dam off part and find a way to stop that, or you're going to have to find a way to dig out the river deeper so that the tides don't flow over. Whatever the fuck this stuff is, it's going to ruin the camp. Now, I will tell you, about this time, the power finally goes out. And my water wheel don't work anymore, obviously.
What if those tides come back?
Yeah, I won't be here.
Might need to convert it to a windmill or something.
No. I don't know how to do any of that shit. I know how to make I'm not that guy.
but we might be able to find people who can. That's why I was thinking.
So if you find someone who can, is wealthy, and has the gales for it. But I don't have it. Our logging camp paid enough for everyone to have a living, and for me to build this place for the men to come in and have dinners at night and that kind of stuff. But we are not a wealthy camp. Sure shit ain't now. We can't do our job. So I'm gonna go grab my stuff, pack some gear. I'm heading out this afternoon. Give the keys to one of the men. I won't be gone for a few weeks at least. For me to go see my circle is about a 2-week travel. And that's deep into the forest. And then I will make my way back afterwards. You want to see
So
me in, say, a
roughly
month?
4 to 5 weeks then.
I would say
expect you back.
make it 5 if it goes well.
Hey.
Well, if you ever need anything, you're always welcome to find us.
I know where your place is. I've been to the outpost before, but before you all were running it. It was just
Yes.
a odd ass guy talking to his oversized stuffed dolls.
Yeah.
So, get your stuff, grab whatever you need. And again, I thank you, and I'm glad I didn't harm any of you. But please keep this secret. I obviously can't force you to do that. But I appreciate it from one druid to another. And he makes like eye contact with Georgia. If we could keep it secret, keep it safe, as they say.
Do you have a secret language? You could say that.
It's true.
If you need any supplies for the trip, take whatever you need, obviously. I do have meat in the larder, but I'm going to tell you, it ain't going to be cleaned right. None of that kind of stuff. And then I'll meet you over at the lift and we'll get you back up. All right?
Sounds like a plan.
So he wanders into his bedroom and starts going to grab stuff.
I could probably clean.
If you go to the larder, it's a separate building from this one. It's behind. It's still in the fenced-in area, but it's behind in a little building off to the side. And I will tell you, when you get near it, there's just flies.
I think I'd rather eat my rations.
That's fair.
Maybe we can hunt some non-tainted animals.
He
when we
comes
get
back and he's
further
like, nope, it's not. That's gonna cause some bad indigestion. I don't care who we are.
We're not Volks.
So when he leaves to go to his room, Will Cuff goes, hey, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Don't we just leave now and now wait for this motherfucker? Like, look, don't get me wrong. He was kind in dwarven form. This guy turns into a 2-ton wrecking ball again for some odd reason. We say the wrong thing. We insult his food. We're dead. Do we want to go work with him at this lift and have him get pissed off about the lift not working right? He turns into a fucking werebear and tears us into pieces?
I don't.
You don't know how it works. Don't act like you know how it works.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he.
Ditto.
Right, I don't either. But what I'm saying is at least safe. We just leave now, be like, hey, thanks for your work, and we bounce.
I would like to at least see if the lift is working, especially if the other
All right.
men are going to come back down.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Noted.
This guy's going to stub his toe, and we're all fucked. That's what he said. That's how he feels about this.
If we go to the lift and it takes longer than we would think to get it fixed, and we get attacked by that ether witch or whatever that was again, then we've got a loose cannon to redirect.
Prod him in the ass, point him in the direction. Yep. I hate this. I'm gonna go and get the rig that goes across up and running so we can at least make it back across. And
Right.
After like you guys take 10 minutes gathering everything up, eventually you hear Willcuff yelling, "Motherfucker, shit, fuck!" That mechanism is not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because it was probably powered by the water wheel. All right.
Burke, you seem to have some sort of familiarity with combining magic and mechanical. Do you think it'd be possible to jury rig something with the tides? At least temporarily? Not like funneling them through pipes or whatever and getting like super close, but like I said,
The general problem is
Maoshan Ramstroop
they
handy.
don't carry weight. So you definitely have to have a magical something to work. It's not like water that has force. It has no force. If you jump in it, it's like air. You just sink and die. You fall the 200 foot to the bottom of the ocean. You just go kerplunk.
It's like it's
I'm
a
at least
mist.
trying to get the idea into his brain so he can start running up schematics or something.
Now,
I think it
boiler
would probably be more efficient to have some sort of generator or boiler that pulled from the magic of the ambient magic there. I mean, he said he's on a druid's knot. I pulled magic from that. We could probably figure out a way to tap into that with a mechanism, but that would take time.
Willcuff comes back and goes, "We got to climb." Like he yells through the window as everyone's getting their shit together. We're manually going across this fucking thing.
All right.
Okay.
Get your safety gear. I'll meet you back at the rig.
Eric, what does the water in the fountain look like now?
Clean.
Okay.
Clean. It's open top too, so it probably collects rainwater, you're guessing? That's your guess? Or they may bring buckets of water and refill it from the river? Like send them across on that, that piece that goes across?
Yeah. But even
Not anymore.
Even the rain, like the rainwater was never really drinkable, was it?
Depends on where you are.
Okay.
In the mountains, it's a lot better than it used to be. Well,
Nature's healing.
grab your stuff, fast forward, get us to the rig that goes across. It is a climb across. Like you basically sit in a harness, but instead of it powering you across, you're pulling a rope and bringing yourself across. It just takes a lot more fucking time. And I'll say that Rodham shows up and he'll help. He'll kind of pull a rope on the back end, helping people across. And then he does the same thing, pulls himself across manually. But it takes like an hour to get everybody across this fucking thing. Like, it is a pain in the ass. When you get to the other side of it, sure enough, he's right. I mean, you can see the waterfall below you. There's just tides flowing and falling out. It's black. The tides have raised out off of the middle of that river that went through, and it's out probably about 4 meters on each side. But when you guys get to those plateaus, you know, those little lifts that bring you up, when you get to that second one and where that guy was in the tower, he finally like arms up and looks over it and looks down. He's like, holy shit, you're fucking alive. I thought all of you were fucking dead. I don't feel good. I've been puking all night. I don't know if I can make a walk. I don't know if I can get anywhere. Then he sees the foreman and he's like, I might need a sick day or like sleep for the night. And he's like, it's fine, man. The logging camp's closed, obviously. Look. And finally the guy looks, he's like, oh, and he obviously hasn't been looking out anywhere. He's heard the noise. And he comes over and he starts climbing down the ladder and he's bandaged up and he looks like shit. As you guys kind of meet up with him, he looks peaked, sick. He looks like he's got fucking black mascara on underneath. The veins kind of go down partially into his cheeks. I don't feel good. Vision's a little blurry. It's kind of foggy in the bottom half, like I got bad glasses on.
How is he in the sunlight?
I mean, he's squinting like anyone would, but he doesn't seem like he's bursting into flames or harmed by it at all, but he don't look good. Rodham leans in to whoever's in the back and goes, do you need to leave him with me? Is this something I got to take care of, or can you fix him? Whoever's the last person in the line. It's enough to where like the last two can hear it, but he's definitely not letting the guy who worked for him hear it.
Right.
Is this fixable?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Is the honest answer. I haven't had much interaction with it.
That doesn't make me feel better.
I was thinking about maybe taking him, if we get him back in one piece, up to this matter field, because they might know something about it. I was thinking about going up there myself to talk to them about curses and whatnot, because...
Take him with you. Take him with you. He's better off with you than me.
Right. Now we might need to make a stretcher then. I don't know if we'll be able to...
I have a... he has the gun, and he's like... got a leather sleeve over it. It's unloaded, but so he could put the barrel under his arm. And he's using it as a crutch. The rifle. I can walk it. I can walk it if we can get to the lift. Let's get it fixed. I can make it as long as it's not a real long travel. We talking a week? Talking a day or two? I'll power through. I'll be all right. Look, I've had worse things happen here in this logging camp than just a little sickness.
Hey. All right.
Well, then let's get going.
Hey.
So,
we'll be on our way.
It's not far from
Team,
here. Oh, go ahead.
Can I speak to you for a moment?
Sure, Brooke.
You want a private? You want
excuse
private
us.
time? Here you go. You get private time. Go ahead.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Excuse us, gentlemen.
So we'll step away from the guy and I'll say, I've seen this in the Ghoul Wars.
Oh,
Unless-
do you know how to get rid of it?
There's nothing that I knew of back then that would get rid of it. It was, once you started, there was no stopping it. And I don't know what's developed in the last 40 years. I don't know if this Merrifield is going to have a magical cure. But there doesn't seem to be a way to stop it. I mention this now because I've seen what it can do. And I see what's happening to him, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be happening to me.
You do look a little pale. I figured that was just because of all the energy exerted last night.
I think I'm fighting it off for now, but it's gonna be just a matter of time. I've seen too many people go down because of this. I don't want to keep it from you. That's the last thing I want to do, because I could wake up tomorrow morning and it wouldn't be me anymore. I don't know. So I don't know what to do besides just
I'm assuming this guy's getting executed.
being cautious.
I'm assuming this guy's gonna die. Yeah, even Star Drew. I think we need to get rid of this guy.
Like, you guys were having your own talk, but I think Maria did enough, like, hunting with her mentor that she's probably planning on taking this guy out like a mercy kill.
And I would expect that from any of you, because we don't know how much time anybody's got once they get it.
So I'm assuming this conversation's happened. Like, you guys fall back as him and the foreman are walking towards the lift. Like, you guys are all following, but you put some distance to have that conversation. Yeah. So you notice the foreman's got his arm around him. He's like, man, I'm glad you're going good. And like, he'll lean back once in a while, and he smells it. Like, you all see it clear as day. Mm-hmm. He smells him. He's like, yeah, man. He like takes his arm off and he's like, I'm so glad that you're making it out of here. I'd hate to see you. 2 kids, right? 2 kids. He's like, yeah, they're up in one of the 3 sisters. He's like, that's glad to hear they're not around here. That they're safe. Those tides are dangerous. And he's kind of walking and he's like, yeah. They're having a conversation. He like looks back at the group, waiting for you to kind of make your way back up as you guys approach the lift. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, it's got a small like tool shack or tool shed next to it, and they know the process for it. It's not hard, but you basically have to put new weights and new counterweights on between the seasons to make sure you don't pull the rigging out, because there's certain seasons you can't run it when it gets too muddy. So they get everything ready to go, and it takes like 2 shifts to activate this when it's just 2 people. But with everyone here, easily in a shift, it can get together. It's not broken. It's just not running. And they get it up and running. And over the course of that shift, at some point in time, the foreman will, like the other guy's probably sitting down. He'll help give direction because he knows how to do it. The foreman will walk up and be like, I gotta be honest with you. He does not smell healthy. And Wilcuff goes, you fucking think? Fucking look at him. He looks like Walking Dead. Look at the eyes. And he's like pointing to his wooden face. And whenever Wilcuff finishes, he goes, you're made of wood. I don't... And skin, you're just as creepy, right? Like, I'm looking past it for you, okay? You're a dwarf. They say you're safe. You're good. And he turns away from Wilcuff and talks to the next person. He's like, I don't know if it's curable, but... And he reaches in and he grabs a bag. And he's like, if it costs money, this is what I got. And whoever takes it, he'll hand it over to.
I think after that conversation, Georgia would just kind of reach for the bag and put it back into his hands and just tighten his...
Do you have the money for it? I don't need this. Just take it.
What are not?
And he like pushes it back in your hand. He's like, if it'll help him or his family.
I was gonna say it might make sense to send it to his children.
Right. When he hands it to you, inside there is dwarven minted coin. Pre-sundering coin.
Ooh.
There's a handful. There's like probably a good 20 pieces in there.
Eric, what's the exchange rate on that?
It's the equivalent to plat.
Okay.
That's how that works.
Got it.
He wouldn't probably know other than it's valuable. Or maybe he does.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need it, he said. That's old.
Yeah, talking to, but while he's like huddled up, like talking to our friend here. His last interaction with it, there was no way to stop it. So,
Talking to the guy with the crutch. Talking
No,
to
no.
I'm hanging out with the guy with the crutch now.
Gotcha.
To like help him.
So you're telling
Do
Rodham that there's
yeah,
no
talking
cure.
to Rodham.
He says,
We
you know
don't-
what
we
though?
don't-
People
don't
didn't. At
think
one
there's
point
a
in time, there was a cure for lycanthropy. They didn't think there was a cure for numerous things through the years. After a while,
No. I understand. I'm like I said, I'm thinking we can take him up to Merrifield. Maybe they'll know something since they're coming from the east. So maybe they have new technology or
It's worth a
something
shot.
like these fucking lights you got.
this man stayed behind to watch over the camp with me, and I told him to leave.
Hey, if we can take care of him, we will.
He's a good dude. He's good at his job. He means well. He works hard. He's a crack shot.
He proved himself the other day. Yesterday.
So then, let's see if we can't get him.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Let's see if we can't get him patched up. Bendel's a good guy.
Vendel is his name.
Bendel, Bendle. Bendel. Now, Kelly, this is important because you said you were sitting and talking to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to talk to him about or ask him?
I think right now, because I'm not quite sure what's happening, I do think eventually we will have to take him out. But until that point, I'm trying to get information about his family, like his spouse and his kids, and where do they live, and like is he looking forward to seeing them when he's feeling better, like that type of stuff, so that in case we do have to put him down,
Do the deed. You gotta do the
we can
deed.
send if we gotta do an old yeller and take him out back, we at least know like where to send the money. So
look, my family is not near here. They live in one of the smaller towns. We moved there because we wanted to be close to family. My wife's family lives in the largest sister, and it's not. We didn't want to be there, so we moved. We didn't want to stay there, so we moved. And we went to the smallest, to the east. So we're closer to like the foothills, kind of like right before you go down, actually down the mountain, the foothills, and we're there. Can I ask you why you're asking me about this? Like, I'm gonna heal up at the lodge at your outpost, and I'll just head out to see my family. Like, are you just I feel weird giving you my personal information when I'm this sick. I've seen what happens in these situations before. We had a guy at the camp who got real sick. He got bit by a creature, and it started melting him from the inside, and we unfortunately had to put him down. And I kind of feel like that's how I'm being talked to right now. No, don't mean to mean, ma'am, but I don't want that to be the case. I can walk. Look, and he like stands up on the crutch. He's like, I'll be all right. We'll fight this off. It's just sickness.
I mean,
Just sickness.
We did get an infirmary built in the lodge.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to make small talk.
Oh,
I'm
man, don't scare a man like that.
and I'll try and use persuasion to like kind of get him to like calm down and like maybe
Yes.
open up a little bit more.
There's a Bane. Would you like a shift attitude to get rid of that?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that part of it was me
Because
also
he
trying to like
is leery.
make combo.
Well,
Um,
we'll see what you get here.
I got a 12. I needed a 12.
Okay. He is leery, and you do remember some conversations about people who are sick starting to get a little bit of scared and paranoia.
Yeah.
He's showing the signs exactly of what it would be.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I'm asking him. I'm also like, I guess like in part of the persuasion, I'm like, yeah, we ran into those creatures, and some of them could like actually take the shape of people. So in case anything happens, we get split up. Like, that's why I try and learn a little bit more so I can question people, make sure that they are who they say they are.
I'm sorry. I'm the youngest sister. We're stationed up at my family works on a farm there, and in Artatava, which is the small sister. You're local. My 2 kids, one just finished school, the other one's learning to hunt. He really likes that, but I think he's gonna be more of a leather crafter. He has a real hard time shooting animals.
Okay.
But yeah, he's like, and I married into a good family. I married into the Moors. They have a good amount of businesses. With him saying Moors, you directly would know who the Moors are. The Moors are a fairly well and wealthy family in Ethauntia. They own a lot of businesses. They're known for kind of building unions, and they are directly opposed to a couple of other families out there. They fight over mines and businesses. They fight with the Blackwells. They fight with the Wraithmoors. The Moors themselves, different spelling, they are kind of like the good business owners.
Okay.
They do their best to kind of bring jobs to communities. They help refurbish ghost towns. So he is right. He married into a good family.
Yeah,
But
so
the
I say that, I'm
Moors
like,
are not from Moldavia.
right.
As a heads up, they are east somewhere. Probably somewhere near Cadra, New Bolivar, that kind of area.
Nora's familiar with them.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned it on purpose. I was like, so
yeah.
ironic that you're talking to this guy.
Yeah. So, Maria's like, actually, yeah, I've heard of them. Like, even out here with the travels with my mentor, you lucked out.
It's a funny story, and he starts telling the story about like how him and his wife met as the rest of the group is finishing this up. Sure enough, the lift operates. Rodham goes and shakes the hands of everybody. He gives the dwarfs like a pretty good hug, because you don't see dwarves often. And he's like, if you don't see me in a month, I headed to Holdenar to see my family. If you don't know this already, which most dwarves do, but I'll say it anyway, we've been told that they are going to do their best to reopen the highway back into the kingdom, and they are going to do their best to take back over Iron Peak. Every dwarf is being called to arms in Holdenar. You do what you want with that.
When was this?
For the last 15 years, they've been making calls to bring everybody in. Now, it's not a lot of dwarves out there, so I'm doing my due diligence. A dwarf passed by my way. I am passing it.
How long ago did you receive this information?
My family went to Holdenar last 2 seasons ago. Right before winter, they would have went. Now, the guy who picked them up was a dwarf from from Holdenar. And they walked the trail, and they went by foot. We didn't fly. It's too difficult to fly through these mountains safely.
Hey.
With that, I got a little something back at the lodge, if you're interested in it, you and your team. There is an old dwarven device that's here. I've never been able to activate it, like I said. I'm good with blueprints, but I can't read. I can't write in dwarven very well. I understand runes. But there is, just outside of the camp, a barn that we store all the logs in. In there, there's a pretty good-sized machine. I don't know what the fuck it's for. If you guys want to make your way back down here and take a look at it after you get him to safety, I wanted at least to get you to here to hopefully have you honor your deal to get him back up to your outpost. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does, but it is old. Don't run, from what I understand. None of the men could get it to work.
Hey. You sure they're talking about Iron Peak?
Yeah. They're leaving from Holdenar to do it.
Is there time? When are they leaving?
I don't know. I don't have any other information other than that. They're just trying to gather as many dwarves that are left.
So they're all going, okay.
The call is out. I don't know how many people have made it back there. I told them I wouldn't be there, but now with what's going on, I'll be honest, if I can keep this in check, I feel like I'd be a good service to help take it back.
Hey.
Hence why I'm going to the Druid Circle to tell them that I will be heading this up. There's one other dwarf in our circle, and I would like them to come with us.
Really now? Who would that be? If you don't mind me asking. Simple curiosity.
I unfortunately do kind of mind because they are an ex-Circle of
Of
Time
course.
member.
Oh. No.
don't
Absolutely
know.
respect that.
I don't know if she would be okay with me saying it. I haven't seen her in a while, though, so she may not be there. She went out looking for something. Do you ask him anymore? Are you going to pry? You can make a roll and do a shift attitude. If you want to pry, you can. But I'm telling you, with what you just said, he's saying, I'm not going to do
that. So Allie really wants to, but I think Georgia would respect the privacy of a circle and
Okay. There's not a lot of
appreciate that.
dwarves. I will definitely say that. You do not remember a dwarf in the Circle of Pine, at least in your circle, maybe in another one somewhere. So I won't. There's no one you know directly from training.
Plot twist, it's actually her daughter.
Hilarious. It is not your daughter. I promise that. So do you
boy.
want to make
She
a
just
roll?
joined pretty recently.
Or you gonna leave it be?
No, I think Georgia would just say, completely understandable. I respect the privacy.
Thanks.
If you do ever speak to her and she is interested in connecting with other dwarves in circles, I would be open to it.
All I know is she wasn't a big fan of some of her family, and because of that, she's kind of stayed away from all of them. Something about a botched marriage or something.
Clones? Okay.
I
Nothing.
never said a clone. No. Did you say clone? There's no clones in Ethauntia. Not that I've ever
I
used
know.
ever.
I know.
Well, get him up there. The information I gave you, Regder, if that piece could be something you can use, it's yours. At least gotta pass it to a dwarf. I'm gonna pass it to a tall folk. He kind of like says it jokingly, but like it's dwarven made. And it's old. It's got to be pre-sundering. We dug it up here at the camp. Good luck. And he walks over to the guy who's ill, gives him a hug, does not give a shit that he's sick. He doesn't seem to care about that part of it. He's like, you need to get healthy and be good. You need to see your family again. I need you to be strong, be good. Trust these people. Don't act like a paranoid schizo. Just keep it together, man. You'll be all right. They'll find help for you. He's like, no, I trust it. Maria's really nice. She asked about my family. I'm good. We're good. We'll make it up. It's a lift and a short jaunt. We'll be there by nightfall. All right, then. Well, if you get on, everybody, I'll get the lift running for you. He goes back into the house, like the little tool house, and powers it up. You hear the counterweights. Clunk. Are you all getting on board?
Yeah.
Pulls a lever, and sure enough, as it does that and pulls up, we're gonna do a cut between you guys traveling through, helping this guy along. He does his best to keep up. Some people have to help him once in a while, but he does keep up pretty well. He doesn't get any sicker. By nightfall, when nightfall comes around, and you get near the camp or where the crash site was, all the workers are already inside, and we get back to the front of the outpost. When you hit the front door, you can hear like a loud, boisterous laugh coming from your carpenter, and a couple other people's laughter coincide with his. There's people at the lodge right now. It's packed. The whole inside of this place is full of people when you look through the windows. They don't even hear you come to the front door. I'm gonna move us to the other table.
So I think I'm okay with that right now.
I'm gonna pull up our map. I'll switch us to the nighttime, but I'm gonna make it so you can see it. We'll go with the Lodge at Dusk. I think it's easier to see. Kind of like this. This place is full. Every room has people in it. There are people cooking. There's people singing. The main lobby area that you have here, like the sitting area, everyone is in there hanging out. There's people playing billiards. They fixed the hole in the floor. Someone finally will come to the door if you knock. If you just walk in on your own, no one's there. The guy who is ill who's with you, Bendel, goes, is it always a party here?
Hardly.
Not always, no.
No, but we did get a local tavern of sorts built up.
Holy shit, you have a tavern here? I would say the tavern's probably a building next door or something. I don't think it would be directly attached. Like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
build
like,
an
well,
offshoot, you know, you walk
Yeah,
between it out in the cold. He goes, oh, that's amazing. I would love a drink. It's been a rough one. Well, come on, let's go in.
Let's get in. Let's get you like checked out in the infirmary. But I'll go get you a drink, and it's not going to be a poison drink. I'm actually going to get him a drink.
I was gonna be like, is it poison, Allie? Did Allie make poison? And you're killing this guy. When the
That'll be
doors
later if we have to.
open, the first thing that you notice is all of the oil lamps on the sides of the walls have been replaced. They now have this glowing red embered stone on a small spindle holding them. And Burke, you remember the first time you saw these when you made them with Giovanna to create light in the other realm you were in.
Oh shit.
When you get into the next room, it is full of moths in this net that is nailed to the ceiling, fluttering around, and they are tiger rays, but they're small ones. And you get into the main foyer where that huge statue is that's carved. Giovanna is cooking on an indoor, looks like a metal grate over block. There is smoke filling the second floor. And she is cooking meat on like a old, almost like a Japanese, like grated
Like
street
hibachi?
grill. Yes. And handing out
Victoria.
food to people. Behind her, there is a slender, older gentleman in black, orange, and white robes. His staff is leaning against the stairs, and he is painting the face of slightly older children, probably hunters that are here, with moth-like symbols on their faces. And when he touches their forehead, all the spots and eyes blink and move. They're throwing a full-on party. Giovanna does not look up from what she's doing. She's just giving out food to people, and this other person is just painting faces of adults and kids. And you hear again the carpenter laugh again in the other room, in the big, like, couched area. And he comes out with 2 tankards in his hands to go to the kitchen to get alcohol. When he walks by and sees you guys come in through, like, whatever, probably this door here, he stops. He's like, oh my God, you're fucking back. So much has fucking happened in the last 2 days, I can't even tell you. This 2 people showed up, one from north of us, the other one, I'm not even kidding. I know this sounds weird. We put her in the barn for a while, we kept her in activity, but a goddamn fiery rift opened up where that airship was, and this woman walked out. Immediately started asking if there was a Burke around here. I was like, no, we don't have any Burkes around here. I tried to send those fuckers away. One thing led to another. Super nice. She's making food. She's teaching kids fucking magic.
Who is this?
I'm gonna.
He waves to her. This is Giovanna. Last name is... We had a lot to drink tonight, guys.
It's Flujack.
Yes! That's it! It's Flujack!
I'm gonna
Wait, Burke, you actually know her?
call for her. Yeah.
She looks up from cooking. She
You
stops.
son of a gun.
She stops and she puts her hand on the grate, puts the fire out immediately. and then runs over and like, I'm assuming this woman is larger than you are from the description.
Yeah, Giovanna is a half orc, so she's like jacked.
I'm assuming she's like
She was-
6'6",
she was-
6'7", large.
Yeah, she was huge before our accident, but like afterwards, like everybody got bulkier, stronger, more hardy. So she's just like,
Just
this
totally
is like our
yoked.
meeting is like, yeah, it's like the beginning of Predator, like Dillian, you son of a bitch.
Fucking hand.
Better
And
handshake.
sure enough, she's laughing. You see her eyes have like a weird glow around the edge of them, and her skin is porcelain white. Look,
You made
it
it.
has been I did. It was hard. I'll tell you what. I was asleep. There was a huge fire. Wherever I was, the place burned down around me. I woke up amongst some trees, people panicking and fleeing from a burning building. I wandered around till I found a spot. I created a gate. I had to leave my ring on the other side, and I made my way through. I came here. I showed up at what looks to be people farming, tearing apart like an old ship. Where the fuck am I?
I have so much to tell you.
Well, I got some stuff to tell you, and it ain't good news. But tonight's about good news. So let's keep it like that for now. Can I ask, is the big guy single? She points to your
Mora?
carpenter, your Mora.
You know, I never thought to ask.
That's a mistake. You should ask that right away. That's rule number one. You know that. Well, get some food. Great to see you. You're on cooking duty now. And she walks away from the fire that she put out. And she walks over and grabs the steins and walks him in to get drinks. And the other guy stands up and turns around. His face is painted like a moth as well. He's very soft-spoken. And he walks over to, I think the person to be told about is Georgia out of the group. He says, hello, I am Sendel Onavak. I was sent here by the mayor. She said that you were looking for someone to help with the mothery that you have. I speak with the tiger rays and have a very vast control over them. They use me to keep the gondolas in and out of the major cities clear. But I was told that I may be of more use here for you and your hunters, I think she said.
That's wonderful. It looks beautiful in there. I'm gonna wave over the others to do like a quick intro.
And he would say the same thing again. He said, my name is Sendal Unavak. I'm here on behalf of the mayor. She said that a favor was owed, and that she would send me here and take care of my finances to help you get the gondola up and running properly, and to make sure that the moths of this area are, how shall I say, not as angry as they are in other parts of Moldavia. I'm assuming that you must be her brother. I was told about you. Brave but dangerous eyes is what I was told by the mayor. And then the gentleman who's speaking to the woman who showed up merely right before me, I'm assuming he must be Burke. And then you must be the hunter or huntress or whatever they call you. Maria, your family name is known, depending on if you go by your family name. I know your people who taught you and your actual lineage quite well. I worked for them for many years.
I see.
The question is, which fucking one is he talking about? Because you gave me a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, I did. So that's why Maria's like, I
Yup.
see, and like hedging.
Yes. And sure enough, everyone is just like with you guys gone, they were just doing their work and continuing life for the last couple of days. When the man who is sick comes into view, Sandal stops speaking and goes, I don't mean to be rude, but do you realize you have a man who has been marked by the tides in your presence?
We are aware. We're taking him to the infirmary.
Would you like me to bring the lobotomy tools?
Would that
Not right
work?
now. No.
Yes, lobotomy tools always work.
No, not just yet. Thank you for the offer.
That is the way you're supposed to treat the bleak. The superstition is, if you keep the mind will rot. You must take it out.
Right. We're gonna go the other route.
Well, I'll go back to painting faces when you're ready to help your person. I will be
Indeed.
willing to give you a hand. My tools are simply upstairs.
Right.
I would.
Who's next?
learn
And he
more.
walks back to the stairs.
I think George is actually gonna follow, and for like a little bit of like.
Do you want your
allow
face painted
herself
as
a
well?
little-
Sit up, the kids are done. I'm doing the parents now. And he pulls out brushes made of moth wings and starts painting your face in like broad strokes. It looks like oil painting almost. And he taps your forehead, the eyes start to flicker, and you can feel the flutter a little bit of like the paint kind of moving.
George is just really happy.
Regtor
I think she's
will
gonna-
Regtor will take our friend and take him to the infirmary.
Is the infirmary upstairs or downstairs?
I figured it would be on the first floor since
Man, it's totally up to you all. Because right now our workshop is this second floor. Let me bring the
Yeah, I
map
was gonna
back
say
on.
workshop is second floor.
is that where it was gonna be? Because I know isn't the moth room down here?
All of the workshops are here. We've crammed them in here. What did you say? The moth room is here. Right when you walk in, you walk through the mothery. It's on the left-hand side here. That's where the mothery is.
That's the butterfly.
Yep.
The moth room.
The mothery is
Okay.
what he called it. You can call it whatever the fuck you want.
Gotcha.
Library is back here, which we did get new library cards as well tonight, so we'll get to upgrade that as well. Where would you want to put it?
Let's see. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, but I think we talked about. Drew, didn't you take the trophy room as your bedroom?
He's back here. He's down in this corner.
Oh, okay.
I was in here to begin with.
Right. Oh, that's right. Would you want to put the infirmary up here?
Well, no, I'm thinking infirmary. Like, if you have a broken leg, it's going to be easier to walk up the first 3 steps than a
Yeah.
whole fucking staircase.
Sure. That is very
Okay.
true. The second
But
room over
have you-
here? Move the piano room?
I was going to say we could make it in the
Yeah.
music room.
There.
All right. Makeshift
it just
infirmary?
feels like
Just
yeah,
roll this piano out into the billiards room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, works for me. Yeah, so that's where to be set up. The tavern is outside and connected. And everyone's kind of just hanging out. And sure enough, Giovanna follows him back. They go back into the kitchen to get drinks. Immediately, Burke, you can see out of the corner of your eye, unless you follow them, she's doing the classic stuff she's done since she's become larger, stronger, and even more of the great half-orc that she could be. I'm assuming she's embodied the changes better than most. And she is doing everything she can to find out if this Morung is single, who they're interested in, how much they've had to drink tonight, like all the classic moves. As the camera pans, go ahead.
She's the occultist. She's an occultist, so she's like into the weird shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, I read it. As it pans across to her getting her face painted, you guys would bring him into the infirmary. Probably, I'm assuming Regtor and Maria bring him in and set him down. There is no one in here working. The only person who is good in medical out of the group that you have that you know right now are Georgia. And maybe one of the 2 new people do, but you don't know him well enough yet.
Right.
With that, after he finishes painting faces, you get him set up in the room. Sendel would walk over and he'd pull the tent down, and you see people running around and snuffing out the lights, the little rock lights in the rooms. They just put metal containers over them, like the lights inside them. You have to walk around and take what are they called? The chalice pieces. They're like the glass bells, but like metal bells.
The chimneys?
Off of each one of them. Like you'd snuff candles out, they just cover the light. And they start covering them up, and he lets out moths into the room that are all hand-painted and glow. And he grabs his staff and grabs a flute off of it and plays music with the moths in the areas. Everyone's just partying and having a good time under really dim lights. The camera will cut back outside to the windows to close our show for the night. The lift is still there, out in the distance. It kind of follows across the path you came. The lift goes down. A few moments later, a woman and 2 other people step onto the lift. They're short. They're about the same height as Wilcuff, Georgia, and Regtor. As the lift comes up, and as it comes up past the rise, the look of your sister's face is there, with one scarred eye and purple, as they get off the lift and start heading towards the outpost. Her and 2 other dwarfs. I'm gonna cut us there for the night, because nothing's better than ruining a party.
Like family drama.
Nothing like family drama at a party, because that's how it goes, everybody. Does anyone have anything fun going on for this week? And while you're thinking about the stuff you have, I will say the moth, the new moth speaker, the new elementalism trainer, Giovanna, and we have new trainer cards, means that our group can spend money to train with people as well. So you can now have a couple skills that are here in the area where you can train with people under those skills. I have a list of what those are, and we have skill train cards here as well, which means someone at this party is also a viable option to be able to pay money and train with. It does take time, but we'll go over that in secret. So does anyone here have anything fun going on before I announce what we've got coming up?
I sure do.
What are you doing, Allie?
So tomorrow I'll be over on Rediscovery RPG for a little Call of Cthulhu bullshit, and we're gonna be getting into some Saw-like games. It
Sounds
is
normal.
Saw in the 20s, and we're going for it.
That doesn't.
So
Actually, that doesn't sound. That doesn't sound normal at all.
it's
Ugh.
very, very rusty, yes.
Ugh, no.
And there is something coming up soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and save that for next week to let y'all know about.
Well, we don't have a show
we're off
next week. We're off. It is like Thanksgiving, Kelly. You are correct. Drew, you got any streaming this week?
Yes, I will be streaming quite possibly all day on Thursday because
will
I
too.
have been busy as fuck.
I will be streaming as well.
Oh, nice. What are you streaming?
I will talk about it after you. What are you streaming?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna play some Valheim because I have
course.
played it once since the DLC came out, and we got to get a base going in the Ashlands. Also, for those of you that weren't here last time, this book is on Audible. I'm reading it. It's not very long. It's like 2 hours, 15 minutes. But if you have a credit, you want to spend it. And
Kelly reminded me, and I did that
narrate
during the
book.
show ramp up.
Go check it out. It's fun.
I'll bring it back to the Castaway. Bye, everybody, and I'm gonna close this out with some fun information for EFP. Good show, everyone. No one died tonight. I thought for sure we were gonna get Berserker Werebearsl doing 2d10 damage to people and just ripping people apart. But don't worry, your sister's coming. That's all I have to say, and you can take that phrasing however you want.
Ew.
Oh God.
Well, everybody, let me talk about what we have going on. I will be live Thursday. We are going to be doing a build show. And why do you say that? Well, a few things have come out over the last week or two. Solo Dark came out for Shadow Dark. And Shadow Dark is one of my favorite systems I've been working on stuff for. In the background, if you know, you've been kind of watching, you know what I'm talking about. But our new show starting in July with one new cast member that we've not had on for a full cast will be joining us. As we have Adam, Diana, and a new person joining. Good chance that Callie will come back and guest star because I know her well enough that she wants to be involved in Murder and Mayhem, as I have converted Shadow Dark for Breachers, which is my custom setting of Zaltala, where it is a bunch of walls that are over 500 foot tall, and there are cities and districts between all of these different sections of the wall, and you play breachers who run into the wall to get information and bring it back. And I'm not going to say much more than that because I don't want to ruin it. The way this is coming out is the GM section is separate in the book because there is a huge set of secrets. As a matter of fact, the table is currently at 200 different secrets that can be handed out while you're running the game for your players to slowly figure out what's going on. And I said, fuck it. I guess we're doing this as the Monday show. So we made our characters last night during the cast. They're ready to go. Two of them picked the new custom ancestries. One of them is playing the dungeon chef, so I'm super excited about that. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. He's playing the dungeon chef, as that person is. And then the other two ancestries, and then something else custom coming out as well. So that means that we're going to be doing that game coming out in July. And that'll run through for probably 10 to 13 episodes with guest stars. So I am super excited for this. Other than that, you can see me on Thursday. We're going to be doing a build show as I kind of convert some extra stuff over, get things ready for the show, build cards, come up with overlays, and do all the stuff I do during design days. That's it from us tonight. Thank you for joining us for Ethauntia. If you're watching this after the show and you've stuck this long, good for you. These are long shows. We hope you enjoy what we do. But on this side, there's going to be probably a video to watch. I'm guessing it's going to be for Dragonbane or maybe Shadow Dark at this point, if this is after I've made the new one. Other side, you're going to have that circle. We're trying to get to 500. We've been creeping along. So share it with your friends. Bring as many people as you can. And because I forgot to do this tonight, I'm going to play the intro. Good night, everybody. Well, we will be over in Secret for those who have their secret shirts.